Alrighty, welcome to episode 5 of the Display Shelf podcast. I am your host, Isaac, joined by my co-hosts, Garrett.
Hola.
And Jacob.
Good evening, gentlemen. We made it to episode 5.
We made it to episode 5.
Exciting.
It's off the back of Wrestlemania, our past couple episodes. We're going to slow down on the wrestling a little bit. Still going to talk about it a bit in this episode, but we're going to focus a little more on the toys like we do, as we are a toy podcast.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. It doesn't really seem like that, but that was the initial goal. On top of that, we had some Star Wars Celebrations announcements. So we want to cover that a little bit as Star Wars fans. You know, we should probably talk about that a little bit. And then we're starting up a new segment called the DisplayShelf Movie Club. So basically we are just going to be picking 3 movies. Each of us picks one, and we're going to discuss it in the episodes. Possibly recurring if we like it, and
we'll see how
every once in a while we'll see how it goes. As Garrett said pre-recording, this is a segment that we are going to fall back on when we don't have any other ideas for episodes. So who knows, we might have another one in our next episode. We'll see.
Nah, we got to switch it up for the next one.
That's true, we got to switch it up.
We've had time to think this up now.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Allegedly. So the 3 movies that we are doing for Movie Club in this episode are...
Hang on. User retention. You got to listen to find out. I don't care.
Well, listen, we gotta issue a spoiler warning for the people, because I'd imagine we're gonna get into spoiler territory, and that way, true. People can, if they need to, they can pause the podcast and go watch the episode or the movies and come back.
All right, you're completely correct. My bad.
So our 3 movies, we have Uncle Buck, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, and Logan Lucky. So there's your official spoiler warning for each of those movies. And I'd imagine we'll probably toss another spoiler warning in before we start discussing each movie. There you go. Well, before we jump into the main bulk of our podcast today, why not hit our recurring segment of our collection check-in? I'll let y'all decide who goes first. I will go last because I have a small haul to talk about.
Mine would be pretty brief too, so I can go first and get it out of the way if you have a lot, Garrett.
I have a lot.
Yeah, Isaac's got the most, I think, out of the 3 of us. So, Jacob, why don't you go first?
Okay, yeah. Well, this time around, I didn't get a whole bunch. I have been mostly focused on new sets only at this point. I am starting to see an influx of Pokemon cards. Not influx, I guess, but I see them now every time I go to the store. So I don't have any issue finding cards, but I'd rather find ones that are brand new, and I don't have any of them yet for them yet. So like Prismatic would be an example, or what's the new one called?
Journey Together.
Name Journey Together. Yes, I'm blanking on the name on that one. I'd like to see those. I think I would buy those in a heartbeat. I think I see like Paradox Rift and Obsidian Flame sometimes, and I'm like, they're cool sets, but they don't really get me going anymore as much as a new set would, But if all else fails, I will grab whatever I can. But for now, kind of playing it by ear, hoping we see some more cards come to stores. I haven't actually picked up anything. Only ones I saw were Paradox Rift blister packs, but I decided to pass on those. They're at a local Target, but yeah, honestly, I am lacking once again in my collection. I've not gotten much in the past couple weeks, and I need to change that soon.
Hey, that's all right. With the current market that Pokemon cards are in, you're lucky if you find one thing. So
Yeah, it's still no WWE or AEW cards. I'm trying.
Yeah,
but nothing.
for real.
That is crazy.
I check every time. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where they would be. I mean, I figured they're on the shelf somewhere, but I don't know where the empty peg would be for those.
With the sports cards, at least at
I figured.
Target here locally.
I kind of figured. I mean, I feel like it's like I don't even see like an empty spot where it would be at. It's like, geez.
Yeah, they might not. They honestly might have stopped carrying them because I think that the only people that have bought them in the past little while are us. But I also know that there were only 2 boxes, and I don't know how many they normally get. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm hoping I see those soon. At least one. Like I don't know if is it just the boxes or do they have loose packs too of those?
I have never seen any loose packs of them. I've only ever seen the boxes, and the boxes are hard to come by.
That makes sense. There might be. I know. I realistically, I probably could, go online and find a lot of stuff, but something about going to stores. Like I said, I think I said this before.
Yeah.
But going to the store and finding it is just satisfying.
That, and I've looked online for the WWE, both Tops and Panini, and they are like nowhere to be seen unless it's aftermarket.
Right, in which case you get into the territory of it being unreasonably expensive.
$150 for a $30 pack of cards. Yeah, it's crazy.
I would avoid. I'd try to avoid third party or scalping at all cost. Like scalping.
Oh,
the prices
definitely.
at all cost.
Did you see the one video that circulated around of the scalper being like, nobody wants to buy Pokemon cards anymore? And it's like, yeah, because you scalped them, dude.
Yeah. He bought too much of his product and realized that we weren't going to budge. And then he's like, oh.
Right.
Not for that price.
Speaking of, actually, this actually reminds me of something else with the collection thing. I got to get a Switch too, but everyone's scalping that too. Everyone's scalping the pre-order. Like, people are selling the pre-order. It's like, come on, guys, really?
Right. It's insane. I mean, they did that for the PS5 too.
Oh yeah.
True.
I know firsthand about that.
They do it for all, like every console. And I'm waiting for, like, Nintendo is supposed to send me an email. Hey, you're ready. You can get your version now online, but I haven't got the thing yet. I think the pre-order is opened up on the Nintendo. It's like invite only, so they send out invites to people.
Okay.
You can come and buy it. And I think not April, May 8th was like when it started. And I still haven't got an email yet, but I'm hoping I do soon.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think I've gotten an email for it either.
Yeah, because as soon as it what's the word? As soon as it the direct went live and said, hey, you can put yourself on a waiting list and grab one. I think immediately after that I was on the list, and like the list was like, hey, you got to be a member for 12 months. You got to play 50 hours of active gameplay. Wow. And I'm like, well, I got those counted. So where's my invite?
That's crazy.
I'm waiting.
Yeah. Speaking of
Nintendo, if I get an invite, I will snag it for you.
I appreciate that
because I already got mine through Walmart.
You did find a Walmart one. That's good.
Oh, there you go. So
Garrett, hold on. Remember how pre-recording I knocked over a couple of my figures?
Yep.
Yeah, I just did it again.
Darn it. But speaking of Nintendo, did you guys see the new terms and conditions thing with Nintendo and the whole piracy thing?
Like with the
Not extensively.
Console? Yeah, basically if they think that you're pirating games on the Switch, they can break your console.
Huh.
I find that interesting. Like I get not wanting piracy to exist, but like if I paid for a console, I should be able to do whatever I want with it. You know what I mean?
True. And
right, especially if they're going to be charging us $80 per game.
Oh my gosh. And yeah. I'm obviously not going to sit here and condone piracy and all of that fun stuff, especially with video games. It gets, as a software developer, I understand what goes into some of this stuff. But like, you know, $80 for a game is a lot, so I see why people do it. Again, not condoning it. And obviously it's illegal, so don't do it.
Yeah, we may have to sleep with one eye open tonight. Nintendo might be on their way.
Yeah.
And we're on a watch list.
I mean, I very blatantly said, do not do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it. Don't do it with anything.
And you know what? I think the punishment should just be like, hey, you're banned from online play. You can't use Nintendo you can't use Nintendo services.
Right.
I was like, okay. Like that's a fair punishment, I would say.
Yeah. And like, I guess with piracy, I kind of understand, but there was also talk, and I'm basing this off of headlines and things that I saw throughout the day. They're probably yesterday. It's also for modding the console and modding the games. And it's like, well, what are you considering modding the console? Are we considering repairs modifications? Are we considering aftermarket Joy-Cons a modification? Because, I mean, I've been thinking about upgrading some of our Joy-Cons to the magnetic joysticks. But it's interesting.
I kind of, and I feel like what is the process going to be to determine whether or not it's a modded or a console that's being pirated?
Right.
Like what's the process going to be for them to oh, hey, we noticed this console, if you mod it and then you connect to the internet, is that how they would know probably?
I mean, it's got to be like it's got to be through the internet connection, but and that would be the other thing. I would want them to be very transparent as to what the process is, but you're not going to get a whole lot of transparency out of about any company when it comes to anti-cheat and stuff like that.
It makes you think that it's going to be like an AI algorithm that's going to detect it or something.
Right. And if it's an AI algorithm, what can we do about false positives? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to have a bunch of false positives.
And and it's going to cause a bunch of issues. Issues.
Well, my collecting kind of turned into I can't find anything. So I guess that's what I collected this week. Was
collected headlines,
empty promises, empty promises and information. That concludes my rant.
Well, that gives me time to turn on the camera for the old gimmick ski here, because I do have things to show off, and I will make sure that I grab some pictures of a couple of things. So, number 1, from the Target. Season 3 Mandalorian. It's focusing on me. It doesn't want to focus on this. It's Mandalorian Moff Gideon in the armor thing. It looks pretty solid.
It does look pretty solid.
It does look pretty solid. It doesn't move very well, but I don't think he moved very well in the armor in the show, so kind of works out, It looks very accurate.
It fits the category.
Ultimate Edition 2002 circa Hulk Hogan. I'm not a big fan of Hulk Hogan the dude, but the wrestler, fun time.
Indeed.
How about that, brother?
Yeah. And last but not least, this is not something that I purchased. And by that, I mean it's a custom. If you remember last time, I purchased Yord of the Black Series for the sake of customization. And I don't know if I talked about what I was hoping to do with it, but it's done. It is a Jedi Master Luke Skywalker.
Ooh.
Well, that looks nice.
Yeah, it turned out pretty nice. I'm thinking of hitting the... What is that thing called? The tunic with some weathering. Just make it a little bit more dirty, less High Republic, but it looks good.
It's not a bad idea.
So yeah, that is all for me. It is the Yord body with the neck and the head off of the Grogu and Luke 2-pack. with a hand off of it as well, for those that want to try and do this at home.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's all for me.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna steal your gimmick here.
Oh,
and I'm going cam on because I have some stuff to show off.
Oh, I need a cam.
I'm just running off my laptop's webcam, so it's not anything
webcams
special.
are expensive.
Indeed. All right. So first up on my list, I have this little Jazzwares sitting Gengar
Look at
figure.
that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, when it comes to Gengar, I quite like Gengar. Favorite Pokemon all time, and it was $10, so I figured why not.
Sweet.
It's a chunky boy right there.
That is a chonky boy. Yeah, he is thick. Next up on the list, Target had some Chainsaw Man little blind bags. I think they were from like Total Anime, I think was the company that it was called. And so I got a couple of those. We got my man Aki here. Kind of a cool little figure. The one I wanted the least from the set for sure, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's a blind bag. You can only get what you get. And then I got my man, the Chainsaw Man, which is sick.
That is pretty cool.
It's really sweet with the blood. It's kind of hard to see because of the lighting, but it's got blood on the chainsaws, and it's got his little ripcord on the chest there. Jacob knows what I'm talking about with that.
True.
Was
that a blind bag?
Yeah, they were a blind bag. I think they were like $5 too, so it's actually not the worst price for that, considering the quality of the product. They are a little small, but you know. And then
on your table or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Shelf.
Exactly. And then if you guys remember, we toy hunted, I think it was pre-Royal Rumble, and I found those like Attack on Titan blind bags that were fairly cheap at the Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, our Walmart had them clearance for $5, so I cleared them out. I got 3 figures.
Huge.
So I got a duplicate of Armin, which I got in the last one, so that was a bit of a shame, but you know, whatever. I got Commander Ervin, and I got the main man Aaron Yeager. So at this point, I am just one off of completing the set. I just need Levi, and then that is it for that. I believe those were from Halverse, I think is the name of the company, or at least the line. So those that want to know. Next up, we got Elite 116 Randy Orton.
There you go.
Just the regular, not the chase. So it is what it is. But I was at the Walmart, and I've been hunting that 115 Kyrie Sane, and our Walmart's the only place in town that I've found 115 at. So I've been checking it every once in a while. Still no Kyrie Sane, but they have a couple 116 figures. They had the Randy, and then the AJ Styles as well.
Nice.
But didn't feel like picking up AJ Styles, so just the Randy Orton, because, you know, 3 most dangerous letters in the WWE.
Absolutely.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. And he came with a little shirt that says, it's kind of hard to see in the camera, but it says Daddy's Back.
Ah, yes.
From his return in 2023.
Nice.
Last thing that I bought, because I have a little segment after this, is the Clone Trooper 5s. I think it's an art series Funko, which is sick, and I love it. I remember I sent this to you guys before, and I was like, hey, if you see this, grab it. And I managed to grab it. So super excited about that, because 5s is one of my favorite clones, aside from Echo, awesome. But you know. All right, so now into the next little segment here. I was cleaning my room for the first time in like forever.
Whoa.
And I found a bunch of figures that I just completely forgot that I had, to be totally honest with you. They were just buried under a pile of bags and stuff from when I bought other figures. So, first up on the list, we got Greninja from Pokemon.
Nice.
Which
nice.
I want to say second favorite Pokemon all time. So pretty cool. I have a 501st Clone Trooper from The Mandalorian.
Nice.
Which is nice. It's a GameStop exclusive, so that kind of tells you that'll date back to date you a little bit because our GameStop closed several months ago.
Yes, it did.
I got Count Dooku. I think I picked this one up when we went toy hunting one time.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
I think it's got the little lightning. Again, hard to see because the lighting, but it's got some lightning coming out of his hand. It's from episode 2, I think, when he's shooting the lightning at Yoda or Anakin or whoever you want to go with there. And then the last couple figures are from the episode 1 Phantom Menace re-release or anniversary. So we got Jar Jar here. See if there's a picture on the side. He's like swinging the Boomba around.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's a pretty cool figure. And we got the B1 battle droid from episode 1.
Sweet.
Which
I like
is
how
sweet.
The packaging for those is like the old toys from the 90s.
Right, like with the red and black.
Yeah.
And lastly from that line, we have Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi from episode 1 again. And it's kind of cool. You can't really see the detail on it in the camera, but he's holding his lightsaber and you can kind of see the top of it where it's got that little design. So it's pretty cool. I was a big fan of that, and I was glad I was able to find those again because I forgot I had them. And the last thing that I picked up, I don't have it with me. And actually, it's just something that I forgot to mention last episode, but I got the signed Alexa Bliss Royal Rumble picture.
There you go.
That's framed up and is downstairs. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and say bye-bye.
Nice. Well, now that we've kind of shared our collection, has anybody been watching anything interesting this week? / over the past couple of weeks?
I have, but I've been doing a lot of talking in the past couple minutes, so I'm going to defer to you guys first.
Jacob, anything? If no, totally fine.
Interesting? I don't think so.
Hey man, I went on a bar rescue kick this week, okay?
I mean, not watching, but I kind of want to try watching House for some reason. Like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I've heard that one's good.
I see clips of that, and I want to watch it. But
yeah,
so I might get into that. Although I feel like with the amount of YouTube shorts I've seen of that young Sheldon, I think I should probably just watch that at this point because I've seen like the entire show on YouTube Shorts. So yeah, I'd say my algorithm right now for some reason.
Yeah, there you go.
It hits my algorithm every once in a while too, and I'm like, why? I told.
Yep.
Why are you here?
And you watch one of them, and then it's like, oh, hey, here's 10 more.
Yep.
Exactly.
I forget what show
the same clip you watched
on mine. I'm gonna see if it'll pop up on my feed because now it's bothering me.
Oh, regular show 2 is on mine.
Oh, really?
Oh, there you go. That's good though.
And it feels like the entire episode's on the reel. Like it's like a 2-minute clip. It's like, dang, I get a lot of information on that.
Regular show is like really fast paced though.
Yeah.
The show is so peak.
I want to watch that again, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, I've been getting a lot of clips from Hawkeye, the Marvel show.
Really?
Yeah. It's really weird because that one's getting clipped and bitted to pieces by the bots now.
Huh.
It can't be actual people.
Yeah. The only ones I've been getting are like the macaroni scene and the elevator scene. And that's about it with Yelena and
yeah.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah. No, I've been getting everything from the car chase to the final showdown and all of that other stuff. So it's interesting.
You know what I actually have been watching now I think about it?
What's that?
Idol, American Idol this year. I don't know why.
Oh, is it good?
I would honestly like we're in top. I think we're in top seven right now. The recent episode was top seven. There's actually another one when we're recording this. There's another one like it's like they do like two nights now. Like at the end, like you get
Whoa.
like it's like they can speed it up a bit faster. But last night was Disney night, and they all did a pretty good job.
Well, of course it's Disney night. Isn't it an ABC show now?
Yes, I mean every show is a Disney night in ABC. So
Exactly. But yeah, I haven't watched American Idol since like the old days. Like Simon and Randy Jackson and all of that.
those are the best days. They don't show any bad auditions anymore, which is such a bummer.
Oh, that's a shame. The whole
that's the best
point was
part.
the bad auditions.
Yeah, like only ones that are shown now are the ones that go through.
I don't want to see people that are good at what they do, you know?
I want to
see people that are trying.
Right. Like I don't watch American Idol, but like I used to watch America's Got Talent all the time, and
Oh yeah.
the Garbo like acts, that was my favorite part.
Oh, which one? Wait, what show was it you watched?
America's Got Talent.
Oh, yeah, like with the X's, like when you
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's funny.
Or like Ninja Warrior when they don't pass the first stage.
Oh yeah, they just slam into a wall or something.
Yes, yeah, yes.
It's like, oh great, he's like me.
So this is a visual representation of what would happen if I signed up for this show.
Right. You gotta put like, it's one thing that I wish that they would do with the Olympics, and I'm sure that I think some other comedian has said this. Not that I'm a comedian. I don't know why I said other there. But you got to put like a regular guy out there with the Olympics, just for comparison. All right, we're back. Sorry for the interruption. I'll do a fancy edit or something. But yeah, they got to put like a regular dude in with the Olympics.
Yeah, because you watch like the 100-meter dash and you see how fast those people are running, and it's like, all right, well they're running, but you got to put like a 25-year-old like dad bod build in there running behind him, and he's gonna just...
somebody that represents the average human being.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, gymnastics.
Oh gosh.
Or like figure skating. That was the other one. I was thinking about the figure skating. It's like you watch these people and they like slightly trip up and you're like, oh, that sucks. But then you're like, imagine somebody like me trying to figure skate.
Yeah.
That's it's hard in general.
Yeah.
That's just hard in general.
Indeed. What were we talking about? Oh, what
America's
we
Got
watching.
Talent.
Yeah, America's Got Talent. Yeah. Man, but yeah, are there any good people on American Idol right now?
I mean, every single one, like, I'm not good with the names, but there are, like, I don't know. There's not a bad one. Like they did, they did Disney, and then they did another song. They did like a Mother's Day dedication. Each one did a Mother's Day dedication song.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that was nice. So and they all did they did a great job on all of them. But I mean, like at this point, it's kind of like the judges aren't. I barely do anything because it's like, hey, America, vote for it, and the judges have no say basically right now. So it's kind of just like encouraging words from the judges, and it's instead of Katy Perry, it's I know what's her name.
Is it Carrie Underwood?
Carrie Underwood, yes.
Oh,
this year.
Yeah, that's nice.
So Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan. But...
Well, you know, Katy Perry's a little busy getting launched into space.
Yeah, tanking her career.
Yeah, plus that and that tour. Man, that looks rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I feel bad for her. She got a lot of bad publicity on that.
She did. Which is I don't think that they meant for. Wait, do you mean on the tour or on the getting launched into space bit?
The getting launched thing, like getting launched in space.
Yeah, I feel like that was supposed to be like a good publicity thing, and then it just kind of backfired. Like, oh, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I didn't really think it like was even that big of a deal, honestly. But
No, I mean,
I know that it's
I
different.
mean, getting launched into space is quite an achievement, but she's not an astronaut, and I'm not
I'm
going
pretty
to
sure
use
they like barely broke the atmosphere.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like and like the reaction towards it too is like it's like that's there's no reason to be that hostile about it, I think. But
Yeah, there's also that. Like a lot of people are like I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh, that's the biggest achievement in space travel and all of this other stuff, but like there's no need to be cruel about some of it.
yeah.
But that's the internet for you, right?
Oh yeah, it definitely like I think that is just kind of how it goes, and I mean you kind of like you don't want it to be that way, but it just kind of is. I mean, but
It's just how it be.
It do
yeah.
be.
Sorry,
Do
I
be
strayed
do
from the
bow.
topic there, but
Oh, you're good. I mean, it's a podcast. We're here to talk, right?
true.
Yep, session engage.
Isaac, you got anything that you've been watching?
Yeah, so I mean, nothing crazy aside from the movies we watched for Movie Club, but
Oh, of course. Which we'll
yeah.
get
Oh
into
yeah, I guess I
imminently.
should put that down too.
But I'm still working my way through Violet Evergarden. Very, very good. I've very much been enjoying that. I think I'm like 6 episodes deep or something, but I haven't been watching it as much because one, I've been watching the Movie Club movies. Two, the new Fortnite season with Star Wars been taking over a lot of my time, and my crippling Skyrim addiction, which is just reignited. So been spending most of my time doing that. So still working on that 13 episode anime that I've been watching for several weeks at this point.
It's okay.
Other
Is
than
this-
Violet, oh yeah, what's up?
Is this and it's Elder Scrolls, right? Not the Oblivion remake you're playing.
Yeah, I'm playing Skyrim right now.
Okay.
Because I started my playthrough of Skyrim, and then they announced they were like, "Hey, Oblivion remaster," and I was like, "Well, crap! I got to finish my Skyrim playthrough before I play Oblivion." So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Oblivion 2 eventually. Or
I
the
have it
remake.
downloaded, but haven't played it yet. Aside from Violet Evergarden, I actually went back and I rewatched the women's elimination chamber match from this year,
Interesting.
which was that's a
Okay.
good match.
Is it?
That's a good match.
I'll be real. I don't think I
like that.
remember it.
I like the I still like the hair whip from Bianca. That was good.
Yeah, the hair whip on Liv Morgan on top of the pod, like
Yep.
that's just brutal. And then you have the Jade angle at the start with the her coming in to
Yep.
That's like
almost
one of the-
attack
that's-
Liv, but then attack Naomi. So
That was like the holy crap moment.
yeah, at first, I actually didn't like it. At the first time around, I watched it because I was like, "Oh, right, so great. We just have one person that's already out, and it's just a 5-person chamber at this point." But then, watching it back, I was like, "You know what? That's fine." Because if it would have happened in the middle, it would have been weird. So, but yeah, I wanted to go back and rewatch that because, and I'm going to mention this because I feel like it's important for my character on this podcast. Alexa Bliss is back after 10 weeks of being just gone. 69 days. She's back. So I celebrated by watching the chamber match.
Return of the King.
I was like, what is
We're
he
still
talking
back.
about? That's funny.
Return.
Listen, it's my entire character arc was revolving around her being missing and wanting her to come back. So had to finish off the character arc here.
Of course.
Last thing, we had Backlash this weekend.
We did. I have not watched it. I caught the major highlights, but I have not had a chance to go back and watch it.
I watched it at 3 a.m. on Saturday night, Sunday morning,
Moses.
because I knew as soon as I went on Twitter, it was all going to get spoiled for me. So,
Yeah, that's fair. Was it
I've
good?
actually stayed off just to not get spoiled,
Oh.
or tried to at least. Like,
Right.
Have you
scrolling past,
succeeded
but it's
or?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any spoilers, honestly. I have no idea what happens to any of
Oh.
it, honestly. I think just when I see WWE post, I'm like, I scroll fast. Just, I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
We might have some light spoilers a little bit later on when we talk about releases, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it was a good show. I mean, I'll tell you right now, John Cena versus Randy was way better than what we got at WrestleMania. So
That's good.
it was actually a good match, so we'll take it.
There you go.
And McAfee Gunther was more fun than I was expecting it to be, but it ran a little bit long, I think.
I kind of was wondering how that one would go, so I'm excited to see how that goes, because I was wondering.
Yeah, it was a fun little gimmick.
McAfee antivirus does okay.
The antivirus did okay.
Good. Yeah.
I was like to mention that you said like it was much better than what happened at WrestleMania, and I'm like, well, that means it was okay then, because
yeah, it was at least a 2-star match.
Absolute dog crap.
It was at least aggressively fine.
Yeah, it was fine. I hated the ending, but the match as of Randy and Cena.
Oh, okay.
There's a formula that they seem to not be able to get away from. It wasn't Travis Scott.
No.
It wasn't a Travis Scott thing, but
oh yeah, no, I did see who it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a formula that they're getting into the habit of doing, both with that and with the ref bumps. That I hope they don't keep doing. But as a match, though, match quality was good.
Yeah. To be fair, though, ref bump is like part of the Bloodline playbook, though.
Oh yeah, that's heel 101.
And that's been like the main event scene for a while, I feel like. I mean, given that Roman held that title for like what, 4 years?
Yep.
Yep.
I was just hoping they'd go with the angle of, they'd reverse the roles of that one match where Randy slapped the ref to retain. I was really hoping that, Cena would be on the brink and he'd just slap the ref. But it didn't happen.
Yeah, probably
Spoiler
a good thing
alert.
that didn't happen.
It would have been funny though.
Yeah.
I would have been down for it. But in their last match, I understand why they didn't.
Right. Indeed. So I'm surprised that we haven't talked about this sooner, but I think I'm the only one that's watching it. Andor is really good. Like,
I
really
have
good.
seen. I saw IGN. I think IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, and that's a rarity.
Yes, they did, and I'll tell you what. I'll specifically talk about 7, 8, and 9 of season 2. It's just phenomenal. Episode 8, a very particular event from quote unquote Star Wars history occurs called the Gorman Massacre that we know is going to happen, and it blew me away. It was, the best way to put it is stunningly brutal. Just go and watch the show. That's kind of all I have to say about it.
Been meaning to get around to it.
Yeah, it's
and
a good one.
is Andor the one that you don't have to know prior knowledge to follow along with?
I would say so. If you're like Jacob's new to Star Wars, so like if you're new to Star Wars, you kind of just have to know that the Empire is bad. And Shocker. We're trying to put together a rebel alliance is the basic gist of Andor. But you follow a particular guy who was in Rogue One. And then the show leads into Rogue One after the finale, which I think is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
At time of
it's still releasing.
Yeah. 3 episodes at a time. So it's interesting.
Okay, I see. I was wondering if it was like a push it all out at once, or if it was like a every once in a while kind of thing.
Yeah, the 3 episodes at a time thing is kind of weird to me, but I think I think it was in response to people like dropping off of season 1 on like one of the episodes that's supposed to be in the middle of a 3-part story. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's me.
Is that you?
That's me.
Which one did you drop off on?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
It was like mid-season. I was like, I'm so bored with this show. I'm not watching this anymore.
Yeah. It's definitely like there's some bits in there that are completely slow burn. But when they pay off, and it's always really good. Like the prison arc is slow, but the ending is phenomenal. And it makes you feel like you have earned a really good ending. But yeah. Other than that, I've taken a break from Better Call Saul to watch Poker Face on Peacock. There's a new season of that out, so I went back and watched the first one. It's like a murder mystery show for adults.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I've heard of that. I
Yeah,
saw some commercials for it.
It's like Murder of the Weeky, but there's still kind of this overarching story with her. She's basically like a human lie detector. She's got like a sixth sense for it's interesting. This might talk you out of it, Isaac, but it was created by Rian Johnson.
Oh, yeah,
that'll talk you out of it from that point of view, but if you like Knives Out, my understanding is that you'll like this, because I have not seen that movie.
I haven't either. For obvious reasons.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all for me.
Cool. I think, does that pretty much wrap up our
Oh yeah, that
discussion
wraps
about
up
that?
that whole thing. So I guess let's talk about some Star Wars Celebration. So we kind of glossed over some of this with our Wrestlemania coverage. Star Wars Celebration happened in Tokyo. Tokyo?
Sounds right. I think it was somewhere
Japan.
out there.
It was in Japan. Yeah. And some things happened that we want to talk about Star Wars wise. So,
yeah.
First of all, I don't know if anybody else saw it, but Mandalorian and Grogu had some footage shown. Did anybody else other than me see the footage, or?
I might have seen bits and pieces, but I never sat and watched the full thing.
Yeah, they took it. They were taking the stuff down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It looks good. Most of the footage that was shown was like a big fight scene in a hallway with the Mandalorian getting, you know how if you've seen a Mandalorian fight scene, you've seen this one pretty much, but it looks good. It's got a higher budget to it because it's a movie.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, it will. Did you see the screenshot that floated around of Rod of the Hutt though?
Yeah, that's a choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the baby Hutt from Star Wars The Clone Wars is a cage fighter. What? That's the most Star Wars thing I've ever heard, you know?
Whoa.
Let me see if I can find the picture here. Because it's insane.
There's nothing more Star Wars than taking a baby and turning him into a cage fighter.
Yeah, here it is. It's on the Star Wars Reddit. Yep. All right, hang on. Because I got to find a Rod of the Hutt picture to compare. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I got to share my screen. This is excellent audio, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Once again, using visual assets in a audio podcast.
Oh, no. That's the wrong screen.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Screen.
Mamma mia.
2. Go live. We love Discord. Yeah, so. Rod of the Hutt. He's a Hutt. He's a little bitty Hutt.
Little baby.
There he is now.
Bro is juiced.
Wow, that's insane. I'm so excited for this. Yeah. Evidently, he's a cage fighter.
Yeah.
How insane.
I mean, that's exactly where I was expecting him to go after the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely wasn't expecting that, because I don't think we've seen him since the Clone Wars movie, except for maybe like a cameo in one of the other ones.
Yeah, there
Like
might have
episodes
been a
of Clone
cameo in a
Wars.
couple episodes.
But yeah, that's gonna be cool. That's pretty much all we know about that movie, though. Except Sigourney Weaver's in it.
Yeah.
As like a
I'm
marshal
kind
or
of glad
something.
they're keeping it under wraps, though, because it's like it's the
Yeah.
finale of 3.5 seasons of television.
Yep.
So I don't really want to know anything about it.
Yeah. I wonder how much of the Ahsoka stuff they're gonna pull into this, though.
Yeah, that.
I kind of hope none. I kind of want that to be kind of separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's got to be a whole separate thing.
Yeah. Speaking of Ahsoka, we got some news about the newest season of the Ahsoka show. Hayden Christensen is going to be returning as Anakin Skywalker, so that is nice. Minor spoiler,
that's great.
Jacob, but and then help me out here, Isaac. After the passing of Ray Stevenson, is that how you pronounce his last name?
I think so.
Okay. They did recast Baylan Skoll, and it is Rory McCann, who I have not heard of. I am looking up his Wikipedia as we speak.
From a visual sense, I mean, the screenshots and stuff that they had, it looked like a solid casting choice.
Indeed. He's got the look. I hope that he has... I hope that the character still works. Yeah. From his Wikipedia, looks like he was in Hot Fuzz, Gladiator 2, the second Jumanji video game movie.
Second one, huh?
Yeah, and Game of Thrones. Oh, and Knuckles.
He was in a video game movie? Oh, boy.
Yeah. Where the Jumanji ones are, like, set in a video game now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. So, yeah. That's what's going on with that one. Not a whole lot of other information there other than we have been told by the creator of the show that there will be all-out war at some point in the series.
Love it.
I love it too.
Is he directing all of the episodes, by the way?
I
thought I heard that.
Thought I read that. Yeah, I can act as Jamie momentarily.
Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie. Jarvis?
Jarvis, alt the single support.
Give me information about Ahsoka Season 2 from the Wikipedia. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. There is no telling of the director at the moment.
Okay.
According to this. So yeah.
I thought I heard that, but maybe I'm wrong.
At the very least, I mean, you know, it's Dave Filoni and Ahsoka. I'm sure that he's involved at a very heavy level.
Yeah, he's definitely heavily involved.
Yeah.
That's his baby.
Indeed. And speaking of the animated shows, Sam Witwer is returning as Darth Maul in Maul Shadow Lord, a cartoon CG animated series that will take place between the end of Star Wars The Clone Wars and when he appears in Rebels. That's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'd imagine they're gonna do a bit with like the crime lords and whatnot. That kind of gets you to Solo and
yeah. I think that I was not able to find anything official synopsis wise about it. But I think that is what we're supposed to be seeing. Is something like that. I did hear tell that Darth Talon might make an appearance.
I heard that as well, which is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I'm interested to see what they end up doing with Darth Talon's character. Not a character that I'm familiar with, but still.
Yeah, same here. I know of her, but not what she's all about.
So Star Wars Visions is also back. We're going to be getting a third season momentarily. I can't remember if they announced a date for that. I'm doing a lot of Googling for this segment.
A lot of Googling, but
lots of Googling, so bear in mind I'm taking my time here. Oh yeah, the October 29th these will be released.
I thought it was later this year.
Yeah, it comes with sequels to both The Duel and The Ninth Jedi.
Which is fantastic, because
yeah,
those were easily my two favorite episodes of Vision Season 1.
Yeah, those were the two best ones, so I'm excited that we're seeing that. And then we do also have a list of the studios that are going to be doing Visions stuff, and I'm trying to... I messed up my image.
Mamma mia.
Not good. Very professional on the podcast here today. Over, back, yay. We've got David Productions. Never heard of them.
Don't know much.
Kamikaze Doga? I don't know. I am not going to read any more of these because some of these I do not know how to pronounce. So, but Trigger's on there, and I've heard of them.
Yep, Trigger. They did the twins in season 1.
Oh,
then,
okay.
Then of course, you know, they've done a couple of big animes. You know, just a couple. They're one of the bigger studios. I need to remember off the top of my head because I haven't really watched a whole lot of Trigger anime. But I'm pretty sure they've done stuff like, what's it called? Kill la Kill is one of their big ones. What else have they done?
That one is pretty big.
That one is pretty big. Oh, they did Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh, cool. I have heard of that one.
Which is fantastic.
Really good.
Darling in the Franxx is one of their big ones. Didn't watch that one either, but yeah, they've done some pretty good stuff. So I'm expecting that episode to be pretty good. After that, we also have Production IG, who are solid. Don't remember what else they've made, but I've seen their logo pop up a lot, either as the main studio of a lot of shows or, you know, a studio that's helped out a lot. And they're pretty consistent with their quality. And then the last one that I can speak on is Wit Studio. They make a lot of really good stuff. Case in point, seasons 1 through 3 of Attack on Titan, which is my favorite show of all time. So
okay, cool.
You know, they've done a couple good things. Yeah, nice. Spy Family, and yeah, they're all over the place. So those episodes I can almost guarantee you will be good from at least a visual quality standpoint.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. We are also getting the first Star Wars Vision series, which is Star Wars Visions Presents The Ninth Jedi. I assume a continuation of that story from both season 1 and now season 3 of Star Wars Visions.
Definitely looking forward to that because there's a lot of potential there.
Definitely. I'd be interested in a series based off of the duel, but
Same.
I don't know how much you could get out of that. Like how much juice there is in that fruit.
Right.
Or if it's just show me a cool Sith Lord and give me a 15-minute fight sequence.
Right.
And I'm perfectly fine if that's what it is. Yeah. 8 solid episodes a season, 2 seasons of that, I think could be good.
Perfect.
Call it done after that.
Yeah.
Now we have a lot of toy reveals. Not only we'll start with Star Wars and then we'll move into wrestling. For Star Wars, we'll start with Black Series. We got a new wave of actual figures shown. We've got Han Solo from A New Hope sporting some really blue pants and what looks to be a new photoreal head. The head looks better than some of the other ones. I still think that the Return of the Jedi one was better, in my opinion. Any thoughts on Han Solo?
You were right. His pants are very, very blue.
Very blue, yes.
But I quite like that.
Yeah, I dig it. It reminds me of the Lego Star Wars, The Complete Saga.
Mm-hmm.
In that they just like gave him blue jeans. Which, truth be told, was probably what he was wearing on set, so.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Nah. It was Star Wars, you know. Chewbacca is also getting a re-release. Nice to see those two in the same wave. The Chewbacca that's here does not look like any kind of new sculpt.
Yeah, I was looking at it as that's something that I've seen before.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that because with Kalnaka, we got this overlay here and there's some extra articulation in the arms, but the arm pieces still look like the ones from the Chewbaccas that we've had in the past, and the head looks familiar, and yeah. The only thing that I can see that's really new on it is the strap on the bowcaster. And maybe the bowcaster.
Yeah.
Good looking Chewbacca, but I don't know how much posability you can get out of it.
Right.
That brings us to a couple unique characters that we've never gotten before. From Shadows of the Empire, Dash Rendar. It's one I wasn't expecting to see in Black Series, but it looks really good, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that looks great, and Shadows of the Empire, great game, so
that's one I need to find and play. I can't remember if I have it on Steam or not.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I very much enjoyed that.
Yeah, but it'll be nice for fans of that game to get Dash Rendar and Prince Sizor is out right now.
Oh yeah, we looked at that one before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember if this was on one of our official episodes or just our test runs, but we did look at that one before.
Yeah, we did. And it looks good. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at something else. And then last but not least of the actual wave is Night Sister Marin from Jedi Survivor. Very nice to see Marin finally get a figure.
Yeah, I loved Marin in Survivor, I guess in both games, but in Survivor especially. So even as someone who doesn't pick up too many Black Series figures, I probably will get this one.
Definitely. I also like that they are venturing into the magic effects with Marin there. You kind of needed it.
Yeah, it's kind of her thing.
And finally, this is an Amazon exclusive set. It is a 2, 3, 4 pack. It is a 2-pack and is 2-pack priced with Turgle and Cal Kestis from Jedi Survivor. Comes with the little scuba guy that you find in the game and BD1. All of the lightsaber variations from the game. as well as the mullet and handlebar mustache Sparehead for Cal Kestis. I might have to pick this up if I can find it on discount.
How can you say no to Turgle?
Turgle's character design kind of freaks me out, though.
I think that's kind of the intention.
I know. And it's like that. I don't know. It's just kind of freaky. It's the mouth. It's too big.
It's the mouth, yeah.
It's the mouth. But the spare lightsabers, including the crossguard, looks really nice.
Yeah, that's a cool addition.
Indeed. That brings us
I'm glad you mentioned who that the scuba guy was, because I was looking at the picture and I was trying to rack my brain. I was like, who is this? I know I've seen him in this game, but it's been, a few years since that game came out, so I haven't played it in a while.
He's just like,
so I'm like
in random locations, isn't he? He's like a fisherman or something, right?
Yeah, I think he's got like, set spawns on each planet, but yeah, he's just kind of there.
He just appears every now and then. I'll be wandering around and he'll be like, hey, come and help me catch this fish. I'm kind of trying to fight the Empire, bro.
Yeah, I got a couple more important things to do, but I guess I can spare some time to fill up your fish tank in the cantina.
Absolutely.
Hey, you gotta just steer as far away from the main quest as you can. You gotta do side quests.
Of course.
We love
Haven't you ever played a video game before?
That's what got me through Star Wars Outlaws, was the side quests. Boy, that game was bad. Wasn't bad. It was aggressively fine. That brings us to Vintage Collection, which is going to have a couple of retreads of some things, some miniaturized. Of course, Black Series is the 6-inch scale line from Hasbro. Vintage Collection is the 3 3/4 inch. These are in no particular order, by the way. We've got a Bantha with a Tusken Raider, which looks pretty cool and has hair. So
big horns.
Be careful where you store that toy because it has actual hair. So, or not like actual like hair, but like, synthetic hair, I assume. We're also getting Marin in 3 3/4 inch scale, and it looks just like the 6-inch scale figure, except smaller. Yep. So that's awesome to see. We get, I think the rest of these we've already seen in Black Series. So we have a rocket launcher trooper, which is just a stormtrooper with a rocket launcher. It's awesome.
Rocket launcher trooper. Holy moly. Yeah.
Season 3 Mandalorian Moff Gideon. I think this is Book of Boba Fett at this point, right? With Cobb Vanth, without the armor.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then...
because he gets introduced with the armor and then...
Yeah. And last but not least, the one that you will not find anywhere, Crosshair. Just because, like, it's a clone. You're just not going to be able to find it, I have an odd feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the Star Wars highlights. And while Jacob brings us into the WrestleMania ones, I am going to let the cat out.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Another animal episode.
Animal episode. All right. Well, after leading up from the rest of Star Wars toys that are coming out, I mean, hey, it's never truly a display shelf unless we talk about wrestling of some kind. We need to bring that up a little bit. And that highlights different toys that are coming out. A whole bunch of series coming out, new toys, and starting with WrestleMania toys. These are the highlights of them, some of the major ones. These are the Elite 119 versions. And you have Dexter Lumis, which is the Y6, Braun Breaker, Ethan Page with Chase, Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm glad we're getting Dominic Mysterio. I think it's going to be really good WrestleMania. I mean, I think that'll be a really, really good figure. I don't know if it's really. Have they revealed pictures of these? Probably
there are pictures of these. I think I have them pulled up. Hang on, Jamie. Oh yeah, here they are. Let me get back to the right page. And there's some other stuff. When I was compiling this list, I didn't grab everything from this site. We were on the wrestlingfiguredatabase.com. Thank you guys for compiling this. We were talking 119, right?
Yes, 119.
Yeah, so here's the Elite 119 figures. So Broad Breaker, Dexter Loomis, which looks really cool with the mask.
The Dexter Loomis is sick.
Yeah.
The one concern that I've heard from people is that like they're splitting up the Wyatts in different lines and whatnot, and not just doing like a big release of them, because now you have to individually hunt them all down. And
yeah, that's going to be a disadvantage for the people that want to get those toys. I think that there is going to be a 3-pack of it's in this page somewhere. Yeah, Walmart exclusive 3-pack with Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, and Nikki Cross. I don't know if these are also going to have singles releases or how that's going to work. But yeah.
Yeah, right.
Ethan Page and Braun Breaker look really good. Liv and Dom, I don't think look very good.
I think Dom looks fine. It's not perfect, obviously,
Right.
but
Totally fine.
that is not Liv Morgan. I'm sorry.
No, it is not.
That is god awful.
That's
got to be a like, I don't know if the head is a retool, but the body has definitely got to be.
Yeah.
And
it's a Liv Morgan from Temu.
Right.
It is. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And, as a Liv Morgan enjoyer, it just really upset me because I saw there was a Liv Morgan coming out with 119. And I was like, heck yeah, finally, I'm going to get this. And then I looked at it and I was like, no,
it's terrible.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that the Dom figure looks very good either. Especially, I mean, look at the face is the problem for me.
It doesn't look like Dom to me. I don't know why.
It looks like if somebody drew Dominic Mysterio from memory.
Oh yeah. I actually, you know what? You might be right. I think that actually is a fair assessment.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to pass on that. Number one, because I've got the Ultimate Dom from Mania 39. But also because we'll get onto it, but there's an Ultimate Dominic Mysterio coming soon. So,
yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Elite 119.
Right. Next is a couple from Ultimates 27. You got a Bailey, which is the WrestleMania 37 Bailey, a CM Punk from SummerSlam 2024, and also Logan Paul.
Yeah, so there's no pictures, at least that I found, from Logan Paul, but I'm gonna need that CM Punk figure.
Because it's in
the that is a good figure.
That's his SummerSlam 2024 attire. So it's the Bret Hart pink and black. Yeah, I gotta have that one. Glad to know that these are, thank you Wrestling Figure Database for telling me that these are from Vietnam. I was under the impression that they were from China, so maybe they will be cheaper with the tariffs, but maybe not. Cheaper than some of the other ones anyway.
Right.
Bailey's looks good.
Bailey's does look good. I like the blue.
I like the blue. I like that gear from her Mania 41. But yeah. Oh, one that I forgot to put on the list. There is a Mattel Creations exclusive Ultimate Edition Cody and Brandy Rhodes from
that's right.
Mania 40. This is the
mask.
big freaky skull. Yeah. And Brandy Rhodes without a big freaky skull. I'm a little perturbed that we're getting and nothing against Brandy Rhodes, but we're getting a Ultimate Edition Brandy Rhodes before we're getting an Ultimate Edition Liv Morgan. And
Yeah,
that's all right. It's fine.
Well,
But yeah.
we also have defining moments one as well.
Oh yeah.
Angle, the ECW, Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, the U.S. champ, and Stone Cold Steve Austin from Mania 13.
I know that these are ringside exclusive, but I'm gonna have to get this Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that Paul Heyman is peak.
With the duster, with the backstage pass, the whole ECW gimmick. I don't have a Paul Heyman at this point, so I feel like I gotta pick this up.
And these are ringside only.
These are ringside collectibles, so I do need to actually order them, which is the only downside. Logan's looks good. Oh, perfect. There's a render. We were on WrestlingFigureDatabase.com, by the way. Did he win the championship off of Rey Mysterio?
He did.
Okay, that explains why the Rey side plates are on the thing in the render.
Yeah.
That's right, because he had to catch Rey Mysterio at one point. I do remember that now.
Almost missed.
He did almost miss, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. He didn't miss, so.
And the one that I am most excited for is that Stone Cold, though, from Mania 13.
Is this the one with the bloody skull?
This is the one with the bloody face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes with the ring bell from the match. If you haven't seen that match, go watch it. It's on YouTube for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Recently inducted into the Hall of Fame, too.
Indeed. It is the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
And after that, we have the Elite 120 series. You have Cody Rhodes in a suit, Lola Vice, and Oba Femi figures. So far.
Yeah.
Revealed. Okay, he's got a...
I've seen the suit body a couple times that they're using for Cody. It's good. It's about all I got.
Yeah. Coloration's a little bit odd. I don't know if brown and the pink is that a chase?
Like a tan. Yeah, the pink it's a pink and red pink suit, red tie is the chase.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Little bit.
Can't say I love it.
Yeah. The pictures of Lola Vice are completely not finished, by the way.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just a model of it.
I think everything from here on the list is all models and digital renders. Yeah.
Yeah, these ones, these are elites they don't have a specific wave number for them, so they're probably not even fully finished completely yet. But there's going to be an Alba Fire, Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, Demolition Axe, Eric Rowan, Wyatt 6 version, and Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, Uncle Howdy, Lyra Valkyria, and Julia.
Yeah.
Which are all they look like models.
Yeah, most of these are renders. There might be a Demolition Smash as well, but I couldn't find anything about it. So, but it's weird to me that they would do X and not Smash. But maybe I missed something. I probably missed something. That's usually how this goes.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm glad they're doing a Julia, because I have been a big Julia fan since she debuted in NXT.
Yeah. And the render looks pretty good, too.
The render looks good. Yeah, I like that it's got the mask.
Yeah.
From her entrance. I think that's one that I will probably pick up, given that it isn't hot garbage in actual form.
That's the hope.
Same with the Lyra, just because Also a big Lyra fan.
Yeah, Lyra's looked good. I hope that they put some extra stuff in the package with that toy, though.
Yeah. Like the bird wings or something like that.
It's a very plain figure, just from looking at it.
It is very plain.
Not that that's bad, but like compared to some of the other ones at a $20, like that'll be the same price as Demolition Axe, which comes with a spare extra set of hands, the mask thing, and the 2 gauntlets, you know?
Right.
I didn't put it on there, but there is the Walmart exclusive Monday Night War series. And I was getting ready to talk about this Make a Difference Fatu, which is Fatu, Moses, which is a deep cut, but like, look at how much is in that box compared to Lyra.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Demolition Smash.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. What's next?
Is next.
These are future Ultimates, but they are way far. They're probably quite a bit of ways away from fully being out. I'm actually surprised Dudley Boys are not going to be a 2-pack, which I think would be a great opportunity.
So I think I might have gotten that wrong, because I do see on here that there's going to be separate release, but then they might also have a 2-pack, which is nice.
I think that's a good idea. Like have them a solo or single packs as well, but also having a dual pack with like some maybe, I don't know. I wonder if they do maybe a double pack like with a special bonus thing that you don't only get with both of them or something.
Like tables.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Why not?
There you go. See, Ringside, give us money.
Hey, Ringside, let's
actually no, don't give us money. Give us toys.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait,
that's what we're here for. Well, but
now hold on. If they're gonna offer me money, I'm not gonna say no.
If they're gonna offer me toys, then I'm you know.
Also, we get Bray Wyatt, Kurt Angle, Attitude, Dirty Dom, Chelsea Green, Eddie Guerrero, Tiffany Stratton, and Umaga. Is it Umaga? Is that how you say that?
Yes, it's Umaga. Yes. I'm gonna need that one. Look at that.
That's crazy.
Wonder where he's from.
That's cash.
That's cash.
No idea.
Probably cost some cash.
For those that are listening to the podcast, my joke was in reference to the tattoo across his belly that says Samoa.
Samoa. What can I say except?
Anyway, the Tiffany Stratton figure looks pretty good.
Tiffy time.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Not sure about the smiling face. It looks a little dead.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
But I'm not displaying her with that if I'm getting that figure anyway. This is the Dirty Dom figure I was talking about. Yeah,
there you go.
That looks great. Gonna be interested to see. That's a lot better than the Elite. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see these actually done and printed. Did we talk about the Chelsea Green one?
Mentioned it, I think.
Yeah. Not in extensive detail, but
not a whole lot going on from the pictures that we've seen yet. No colors on or no paints or anything, but it's going to be nice to get Chelsea Green in this line. So yeah.
So I've been thinking about this question since I looked at the list of, or looking at our outline the past couple days. Are there any figures that you'd like to see made? Maybe like some updated models or, new wrestlers or anything like that? Because I can think of a couple that I'd like to see.
Ooh. I'd like to see and it'll be a while because I know he's under AEW Legends deal, but I'd like to see like a proper Ultimate Sting.
Yeah.
I've got cool. the Supreme one from, but it's all based on his AEW appearances, not like his WCW or WWE appearances. So I'd like to see Sting in Ultimate. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's any others. Yeah, Sting is one that comes to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacob, any that you would possibly want to see?
In terms of figures, what? Yeah, I would like to see. I had a few rolling around in my brain that would be nice. I guess we do need Jacob Fatu figures, don't we? Do we have that many or no?
We do. I need a Jacob Fatu Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
Also, I need like a Penta with like,
yeah, the Penta
would be
figure.
great. We need a Penta with like his doing the fingers down, the Cierro Miedo. We need that.
Mm-hmm.
We need that and we need that pose.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I think that might be the first figure I'd buy if I had to get one, if that existed.
Man, I'm really thinking about that now.
Yeah. So mine, I'm gonna sound like a broken record and revert back to my podcast character. I'd love to see a 2025 updated Alexa Bliss with like the Friends for Eternity jacket and
base it on that Royal Rumble appearance. That's
right.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because I was doing a little bit of digging the other day, and the last Mattel figure she got was a Basics Battle Pack back in 2023 with Charlotte Flair.
Oh.
And then she had an Elite and an Ultimate in 2022, but she hasn't had a figure since. So let's get on that. Maybe?
Yeah, let's do
perhaps. And, make it the 2025 with the jacket and call it good.
I'd like to see Io Sky in Ultimate.
That was another one that I was thinking, because again, another one that hasn't appeared since Elite 10. I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna say 107, but it might be 109. So
it was an O, and we're on 16 now.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at the market prices for it the other day. I guess I should say I was watching a video of someone who was checking the market. And he said it was like $100 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's another one I'd like to add to a collection, maybe.
Right. Man, now I'm really thinking about that. Yeah, I've got nothing. I've got nothing else.
Fair enough. I mean, Sting is a strong contender.
Yeah, Sting comes to mind. They've got a great Muta figure. I want that figure really bad. I need a good, solid, like 97-ish Shawn Michaels.
There you go.
For the display. I really like that early Attitude Era Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, stuff like that. So Mankind, Vader. The Vader figure is phenomenal, the Ultimate Edition one. But yeah. Indeed. Oh, the next segment is me.
Sure is.
Sure is. So, while we're talking about wrestling, we might as well bring up the massive news that, not massive, but the big talking news from this past week, in that WWE released a bunch of talent. Feel like we might as well talk about it. I'll give the list and then we can editorialize to our heart's content. Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, Caden Carter, Katana Chance, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Jakara Jackson, Oro Mensa, Riley Osborne, Javier Bernal, and Olive Gallus and Danny Palmer have all been released from WWE. This was last week, so we've had some time now to kind of hear responses from some of these people and what they're planning on doing. But yeah, some interesting notes. Wrestling Observer says that the main roster cuts were them wanting to bring on more people, which we'll talk about that in a minute. And then NXT cuts were wrestlers that had not improved enough, according to them, were injury prone, weren't connecting with the audience, or the phrase that was used in the Observer was lazy, which of course Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan have both come back and said that's not the case, that's BS. But
yep.
So, you know, it's Dave in the dirt sheet, so do with that information what you will. Another interesting thing that broke just today, Braun Strowman, who was released, has a new television show coming out on USA Network that is produced by WWE.
Well, that makes me happy that he's going to be involved in some capacity, because that was the one that I'm like, one of the ones that I was very disappointed seeing for sure.
Yeah.
And I know
that was go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I would say I know the speculation too is like injury. I know he's been dealing with something for a long time, so that's probably why he got released. Probably might have been like more mute release and like say, hey, I'll do this and I'll still be a part of the company. It might be what happened in that case. But I like seeing him on stage. I like to see him on stage, and it's just a bummer that he won't be on there. But I'm glad he'll be involved in some capacity, though. That's a blessing.
There were rumors surrounding Strowman that the whole him being released was a combination of his salary being so high and then him just not being used in creative. And I get that, but also two of the more over stars from the past year is Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed, I would argue. In terms of maybe not most over, but like highest or fastest rising. There you go. The common denominator there is a program with Braun Strowman. So, yeah.
Right. It just seems like a weird thing.
Really weird. Also, Dakota Kai was not, I was very disappointed in that, because there's somebody that is very easily, I would argue, should have been the IC champ.
That is weird to me.
That one I feel like probably comes down to injuries, just because she's been injured like 4 times in the past year.
Maybe, but I mean,
it's like,
yeah, but like, are you gonna hold that against people? I mean, maybe if you're like an athletic, sport based.
It's a cutthroat business,
right?
Definitely.
That's the thing.
Shayna Baszler was kind of surprising, but also we haven't seen her or Zoe Stark in a while, so.
Yeah, pretty much since
Sonya got released.
Other than the gauntlet match tag team prior to WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
They were just kind of randomly there and then lost and then bye-bye. Which, for Shayna, so for those that didn't catch last episode, in my game was one of the people that I had selected, and one of the main rules of my game was that it had to have been someone that was currently active on the roster. And so they released the list of releases like a few days after we recorded that, and then I was like, oh, all right, well, But yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Cora Jade getting cut is kind of dumb.
That was weird.
Like that one that felt off. Like it feels like there had to have been something more there that we're not hearing about, because she's solid. I mean, I don't watch NXT enough to really be able to give a super good opinion. But here's the thing. If they're bringing up Roxanne and Julia like they're planning to, and I'd imagine they'll bring up Stephanie here fairly soon,
Right.
you don't really have any heels to work with in the main event of, the women's division. Cora kind of fits right in there alongside Jada
For
Parker.
NXT, yeah.
For NXT, yeah. So,
yeah, Cora Jade's an interesting case where I don't know. I think that she fits perfectly in NXT right now.
She does, yeah.
I'd be interested to see if she ends up going to like TNA.
She might go TNA. She might go AEW. I know a lot of people are talking about that.
I would be surprised if AEW takes her.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been surprised on that sort of thing in the past, but Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, yeah, I see going over there. Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, maybe, if they decide they want a women's tag division, but
right. That was another one of the releases that I hated.
Yeah,
because like
the women's tag team is the women's tag team division is on their rear end. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna release the only actual established tag team that we have.
Right. Like, what are we doing? And they're good too. It's not like, I know the fans aren't like unbelievably over or anything, but
right.
Like they're, from an in-ring perspective, they're solid.
Definitely,
It's a real shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gallus would be great for TNA. I'll just put that out there. But yeah.
There you go.
I find it interesting though that a lot of the, not to keep talking, but I find it interesting that they're talking about the releases being related to signing new people. And it's like, you got a lot of people with really good potential, like specifically looking at the main roster releases.
Right.
Granted, not to like talk ill of the people that have been fired, but like Braun Strowman is probably, I mean, he's a bigger dude. He's come out and said that there's knee issues. So I kind of get it, but don't fire people. Let the contracts expire. Like with Shotzi, who's not on this list because her contract is expiring versus she is getting fired. They should let people's contracts expire and not release them early.
Right.
So, yeah. Especially where you've got Braun Strowman doing this television show, which the concept is he goes around to restaurants and eats everything on the menu, which is already being done on YouTube, by the way. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Indeed. But there have been a lot of new signings. So, it's interesting that we're, like, releasing people to maybe pay for the new signings. That feels a little weird to me, given that Aleister Black is already being programmed against The Miz.
Yeah. Like that was his opening feud, was against The Miz.
And Rusev is beating up the Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb's got an interesting storyline. Jacob hasn't seen it, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Yes, indeed.
Not yet, no.
There's talk of them negotiating with Mariah May from AEW, which would be a great get.
That would be great.
I want to see AEW use her in a after Tony Storm capacity now and see what happens there, because that's kind of been her entire run, is this program with Tony Storm. So
Right. Yeah, they've been going, or they were going for like
yeah.
several years, if I remember right.
Yep. At least a year.
Yeah.
And then Saraya keeps teasing her return to WWE, so I'm curious if she's one that'll end up coming in as well. But
yeah, I've seen so many interviews with people are like, "Oh, would you rather come back as Saraya or Paige?" And she's like, "Oh, I'd love to be Paige again." And I'm like,
right,
really?
It's like, great, it's gonna happen here pretty soon, I imagine.
I'm down for it.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. If the story's right.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so the TLDR on the wrestling releases. Don't fire people. Let their contracts expire.
Indeed.
Agreed.
All right. Before we move on to Movie Club, since we're talking about wrestling, I would be remiss in not acknowledging the passing of Sabu, ECW legend. If you needed to define extreme in terms of wrestling, look no further than Sabu. Absolutely brilliant. And with that, we will conclude the professional wrestling talk and move on to Movie Club.
Yay, Movie Club.
Movie Club.
So I guess I'll lead us in here. So like I said at the beginning, Movie Club, we each picked a movie for us to watch. And we're just gonna have a good old little discussion about it. I know I took some notes while I was watching each movie, and so at least my notes venture into spoiler territory. So once again, spoiler warning for our movies. Uncle Buck, Logan Lucky, and Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
I will say I tried to be as spoiler free as possible. I mean, there's so I kind of tried to be more of a, like do a type of synopsis, but try to keep it as spoiler free as possible.
Yeah.
So hopefully it won't spoil it if you want to see the movie. And I would definitely recommend checking out all three of these movies. They're all fantastic.
Yeah. So one thing I will mention, at the time of this episode's release, probably like 3 or 4 days ago, we put out on our socials, so Twitter and Instagram, we put out a list of the movies that we're going to be watching for this episode. So make sure you follow our socials to keep up to date with that for future Movie Club episodes, to see what movies we're going to be discussing. That way you can watch them and keep up to date before the episode comes out. That might be the first time these two have heard me say that, but I'm going to do some social posts on Instagram and Twitter about Movie Club. So make sure you're following us there.
I think that's a great idea.
Indeed.
And also to mention as well, if you are interested in any of these movies, want to watch them for yourselves, if I'm not mistaken, each one of them is available on Netflix.
They are all on Netflix.
Yes. So that's good. We try to keep it. We're a streaming service that try to keep it consistent as best as we could. I know streaming services make it hard to like find movies that are all on the same thing because everything is on a different platform. But in this case, all you need is a Netflix subscription, and you can watch all three, and don't have to pay anything extra for other subscriptions. So that's a plus.
The,
for sure.
The general rule we set when we were setting the guidelines for this segment is it just had to be something that was readily available and not something you had to search like page 3 of Google for.
Right.
I actually wanted to do Rock but I could not find a streaming service that had School of Rock on it. But
Really?
if I do find one, I'm going to do that as an option for the future.
Is it on
maybe.
Peacock?
It is not on Peacock, believe it or not. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure
Oh, it's on
not.
Paramount Plus.
It is?
Yep.
Well, that explains that on Paramount Plus. That explains a lot. But actually, I think I have it on DVD, maybe. But
Ooh.
but it's a fantastic film. Also,
That's another thing. I picked my movie before we had instituted any streaming service rules, with the full intention that I was going to start passing around a Blu-ray.
We got there in the
good old
end.
days. Those are the good old days.
Indeed.
Yep. So let's kick Movie Club off, guys. Let's do this.
Yes.
Which movie are we starting off with?
I will start with Uncle Buck.
Okay, cool.
We'll start.
Give us the rundown.
All right, so Uncle Buck. So, I know maybe if you're familiar with John Candy, he's Uncle Buck in the movie. I know I said this. You said this is your first time seeing it. And I know you were a fan of John Candy's work before, but this is, I think, the pinnacle of his work. Honestly, I think he does a great job in every movie he's in. But I feel like this, for me, I feel like it's his pinnacle, and I feel like it's one of the earlier ones as well. I think he does a great job, and it also has Macaulay Culkin as one of the young children in the movie. That's pretty cool to see, and it's like the Home Alone Macaulay Culkin. So it's like the same age as you would have been Home Alone, basically. So it's kind of cool to kind of make that connection in like the 1980 movies.
Yeah, that threw me off for a second. I was like, oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
But then, obviously I got into it, but.
Yeah.
So this is if you go on the internet and look for a synopsis, it kind of describes it as laid-back, commitment-phobe Buck babysits his rebellious teenage daughter, and her cute younger brothers and sister. So that kind of paints a bit of a picture that I also will preface by saying this is a very comedy, satire-heavy movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jokes. It's full of jokes and comedy. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen like the poster for it, but I like how the poster like makes it act like Uncle Buck is like intruding in, like he's like what's the from Lampoon, like Lampoon's Christmas?
Yeah.
It's like
It's like Cousin
Eddie.
Eddie.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
But in this case, Uncle Buck actually is invited to be there. So I'm not sure why that's what the movie like the movie poster is like, but you know what?
Right.
But I will say so like it says there, commitment phobe Buck. So he's like a bachelor, like he's not really a person that you'd expect to take care of children, like especially in the holidays. I think this takes place near Christmas time, so kind of like a Christmas comedy movie. He's not the type. It's like it mixes comedy and emotion, I would say, because he kind of learns to connect with these kids and become be more of a attentive uncle, caring uncle for these kids. And I think that the jokes kind of do hold up. I think the fact that I watched this as a kid and I didn't understand everything, but being able to watch it as an adult, I do understand now many of the jokes in the movie, and I'm like, wow, how did I not get that as a kid? Or it's like, oh wow, there's no way I would have known as a kid. So it's kind of funny to go back and watch it again. I would say, and also director's John Hughes, who also did Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is also another good movie I would recommend.
It's a fantastic movie.
Yes,
fantastic. John Hughes, great job, dude. But yeah, there isn't much to say other than if you're looking for a comedy movie that just combines a lot of like 80s laughs, like 1980s, like just like some dumb humor, some of it's like some wholesome moments. You'll see like really really good. I'd say it's really solid acting on Candy's part.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I don't see like I wouldn't I would be brave enough to say that it's one of my favorite comedies ever. I mean,
Oh
it's
wow.
fantastic, honestly. I mean, I have a lot of good comedies that I like, but like this is one of those that I think, especially watching it with my family, makes it has it even more special. Just to see them laughing too at the same jokes that I'm laughing at, kind of makes it a
Right.
bit more special to me. But yeah, I would I don't know I'd probably give it like if we're giving a star rating, like if you're giving like a 10 out of 10 rating, I'd say probably like 9 would be a reasonable rating for Uncle Buck,
Okay.
honestly. I
Okay.
think you take one off just because um it gets points in it where I feel like it drags on and some of the jokes don't land as well
Yeah.
anymore. And maybe it was like maybe you could do 9.5 if it was back in the 1980s when it was like when like because some things back then, are kind of like, I don't know, that's okay now, but I think that
Yeah. This one's
yeah,
definitely aged a little bit, and I wrote a couple things in my notes about that.
right, and yeah, totally fair. And I know it's a different era, so it's like you
Right.
might get some like culture shock, like some like oh, you know, but yeah, I mean, I think if you like wanted something laid back, you're not too, you're just kind of like yeah, just I want to sit down and watch something with like brainless, like you don't need to like think too much about it. I think it's a great
Right.
movie to sink your teeth into, honestly.
Yeah, I watched most of this movie while cooking food, like the middle portion of this movie while making food. So,
That's all you need, and you only need like half an eye on it. It's like
right.
you get all
Yeah.
Yep.
the stuff.
Yeah. Isaac, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on it?
I really liked it. I thought it was really fun. It was a fun watch. Um, my first note that I had written down was because it was just like immediate. The opening scene where they're like in the kitchen was just cracking me up so much. Um, especially with the Macaulay Culkin, who I think was
Yeah.
probably my favorite character in the movie because he was just so funny.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he and John Candy together, even though they didn't have a whole lot of screen time, is the best
yeah.
part of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great synergy on the in the movie screen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's in that opening scene, Tia's trying to tell him, to go do something. Or it's like, I don't have to listen to you. I'm an American. I have rights. I just started crying,
Yeah.
laughing at that part. I was like, that's so funny.
Yep.
But
Oh,
just
the
like
old
throughout the movie, he was so good.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when I don't know, do we want to stray into spoiler territory or
A spoiler warning for
uh
Uncle Buck
yeah, go right
starting
ahead. If you want
forward.
to. Yeah, right now.
yeah. Um when Buck first gets there and he's like talking to the mom who obviously doesn't approve of him or his lifestyle at all. But he's like, by the way, do you guys have a plunger?
Yeah.
The plumbing at my place isn't great. And I was, I ate a lot of cheese and it's really backing me up. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's just a lot of really good scenes that were really funny. Um, I could go on and on about the different scenes because I have like
Yeah.
15 bullet points written down of different scenes that were funny, but I feel like, even though you said it is like a lighthearted, you know, put it on in the background, I feel like if you really want to psychoanalyze some of the characters, you could do that too.
Yeah. And I think
Especially,
I might have.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially the one that I focused in on a lot was Tia, the
Yeah.
eldest daughter.
Yeah.
Um, because on the surface she is just being this rebellious teen. It's the 80s. She's 15 and in high school. She's gonna go out and party and make out with guys and
Right.
just be an irresponsible individual. But you also have to kind of look at the parenting style of their parents because it was made very clear early on that they're very much not involved with their life. And then when push came to shove, where they had to dash off, they decided to get someone else that
Right.
isn't the most responsible either. But instead of trusting their eldest daughter to be able to, take care of the house and like, be the adult in the house, which, I mean, I get it. She can't drive. She can't really get them to
Right.
school, but I feel like she kind of took that as, wow, they don't
A
trust me to
slight.
do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, rebel even further, and I'm going to really hate this guy that they brought in. And I'd imagine they didn't really address it much, but probably something that Buck did when they were younger that made the family not exactly happy with them, with the wedding
Right.
photo and all. But
yeah, which I feel like we could have used a little extra backstory there. Like
yeah,
need a bit more. Yeah,
right.
for sure.
And like they're like, well, you can't call Buck. I don't want to call Buck. And then we just see this one scene of him in the apartment. And like
yeah, at 12 in the morning or 2 in the morning or whatever it is. And so it's like, well, yeah, obviously he's going to be a slob and sleeping.
right.
So
Yeah.
I would have liked to, even just like one line of like, well, after what he pulled at yada, 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 you're sure we can trust him?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know. That was one of the things that I was a little bit like, okay, could have used a little bit more there. But at the end of the day, it's a John Candy comedy movie.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, like I think just like it's like you're right. Like you can psychoanalyze the characters, but also it's like it's a John Candy comedy movie, so it's like, oh, I can't try too hard to like get too into it because it's also
Right.
like, okay, it's just also kind of be good fun in a way too.
Mm-hmm. What do I have written here? Oh, I was taking these notes as I went along. So the second bullet point in my notes is $5 says he takes the kids to the track and or casino, which ended up being a plot point in the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm glad glad I picked up on that one early. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin is like the star of the show in like a really kind of funny way.
Yeah.
Specifically like the scene with him and John Candy, they're kind of toward the beginning where they're at the kitchen table and it's like, what do you do for a living? And the kid's like drilling him, and it's just really funny.
What's your record for most question to ask in one sitting? 38.
Yeah. That was great. And it's always the young kids in this that I think have the funniest line. The best line in the whole movie was they're in it's the scene where they're in the school, and it's the daughter, who I don't remember the name. But she's talking to the teacher, and teacher is like, why was your uncle microwaving your socks? And the kid just point blank looks at him and goes, he can't get the GD washing machine to work. I thought that was funny. Kids cussing is always funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But especially with the way that scene was like integrated in too, because that was right when he was talking to the vice principal, and he was like, no, Maisie's such a great kid, and always does everything, perfect, and yada yada yada. And then it cuts to that scene, and you're just like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
We got the Austin Powers mole scene, by the way, on this one. That was kind of funny. What else do we got here? I didn't realize that it was a John Hughes film until the credits rolled, honestly.
Yeah, same.
So that was kind of interesting. In synopsis, I have written, the bowling alley scene is freaky. It's creepy.
That's weird.
Yeah. Definitely kind of shows the age of the movie, especially when we find out later that she's 15. That's...
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
1980s.
Yeah.
There was, not to stray too far from like the creepiness factor, but there was one shot in that bowling alley scene where I think they actually just reused footage,
From
because
Go
from
ahead.
the same, like it was like a master shot or something like that
Yeah.
they used, where it was right when the guy's talking to her and whatever, and then it cuts back to Buck and the kids going bowling. And then if you look in the background of it, she's still just sitting there. The guy's not there.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
Yep.
they reused the shot instead of filming it with the guy there, which like is a minor nitpick, but it was just like it was something that I noticed and I was like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene was really creepy and not okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have on here the last 3 bullet points. There's a surprising amount of heart in this movie, although it kind of felt disjointed between the coming of age. Yeah, somewhere between the random hijinks of John Candy and the kids to we gotta stop certain people from taking advantage of a 15-year-old. It just was a very tone shifty at times. So, I still give it an 8 out of 10.
That's what I gave it to. It was very enjoyable watch.
It was a fun watch. It was a good movie. But looking at it through a 21st century eye, if you will, a 2020 eye in particular, some of it is just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. One last shot one last scene, I guess, that I want to focus in on real quick. It's near the end, when Buck is walking through the house of like the party.
Yeah.
And they shot
that was funny.
Yeah, they shot that scene of him breaking into the room as like a horror movie, and I was just like, yeah, I love this. Every part about this, I love it.
Yeah,
like the Dutch angle tilt.
Yep.
As he drills the door open, it's just like, yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah. And I like I like the expectation subversion that wasn't Tia as well.
Yeah.
Like I like that she had the agency in that situation. Right. And that it was not the whole movie, if we really want to get into themes of movies and things like that, is that kind of what you alluded to, one of you guys alluded to earlier. She wasn't trusted alone at the house because she's making these kind of rash teenage decisions, but eventually she makes a good adult decision. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, indeed.
Cool.
So Jacob, was there a particular reason that you had picked this movie, or was it just kind of like, hey, I really like this movie, I think these guys should watch it?
Well, it's a mixture of a couple things. It's the fact that I haven't seen it in a long time and I kind of wanted to like get an excuse to watch it again. And I kind of want to see how it held up from my last, like from when I watched it before, and I was curious to get an outside opinion like from you guys on what you think of the movie and its direction overall, because I don't know, it's sometimes you like movies so much and then you go online and say, oh, this movie stinks. It's like, wait, people hate this movie, like kind of. So I kind of wanted to get that sense and see if it's like, am I just blinded by nostalgia, or is it actually an okay movie?
So did it live up to what you had thought of it?
Yeah, I think that, like it's like different times, some things didn't hit well, just things that they're not okay, it wouldn't be okay now for sure. But the comedy aspect, I think, hit, like it stayed the same, and the plot points in the acting, I think that held up a lot, and I think it did great. I think they still, like, I think it still is quality caliber for today. I think people would like enjoy, like maybe like when they get to the bowling scene, we skip, you know what I mean? Like maybe we skip that portion of the movie or something like that. But I think everything else is,
Right.
it's relatively fine.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm glad it stayed as good as you remembered it, because I know I've watched a few movies in the past where it's like, wow, this was not nearly as good.
Yeah, like that's
So
another thing too, that it's like yeah, you're right. It's like and then that like is when the blinded by nostalgia happens, where you're like, oh well, this is great. I've seen it 10 years ago, and I'm sure it's still amazing. It's like, oh, I love it, and you show your friend, and it's like, oh, this movie stinks.
Yep.
Like or like online, it's like, oh, this movie is terrible. Like people who like this are dumb. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize people hated it. But it's like going from your own bubble like to like out and see like, oh hey, what do you guys think? You know, it's like having an outside opinion. I think is huge, like important, um, for these kind of things too.
Yeah. Definitely. So that brings us to my pick. So my pick is one of my favorite movies of all time, honestly. It's called Logan Lucky. It is a Steven Soderbergh film. He did the Ocean's 11 film, as well as like Magic Mike and some other ones. Stars Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, and Daniel Craig. Bunch of other people. It's a heist movie. So this family, the Logan family, they need money. Jimmy's out of a job, and Clyde's a one-armed bartender. They decide to steal money from the Charlotte Motor Speedway in North Carolina. So they break Daniel Craig out of prison. And it just follows this whole heist, this NASCAR heist, this kind of redneck heist, for lack of a better term. Yeah, it follows a family from West Virginia. Of course, I'm from around there, so it probably holds a little bit more weight for how accurate certain aspects of culture and history are for West Virginia. This movie doesn't seem like it would capture that very well, but it does. Yeah. I don't know where to start. What'd you guys think of it?
I had a fun time with it. There's a couple things there I was like, oh, that's interesting, or but yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. I liked there were a couple of references to Channing Tatum specifically. Like when there was do you remember at the start when he goes to his ex-wife's house? I don't know if he's picking up the kids or whatnot.
Right.
But the new husband says, "Yeah, we were gonna go to the movie. It was that like Furious and Fast movie." I was like, "Hey, wait a second. Who?
Channing Tatum.
He's he's
main character.
Jimmy Logan.
No. I mean, like, was he in the Fast and Furious movies?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember My Name Jeff?
Oh,
that comes from the Fast and Furious movies. So he's in.
I thought that was from 21 Jump Street.
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe I'm off.
I might be wrong, but
Jamie.
Because I haven't actually. Oh no, maybe I'm wrong. Never mind.
Yeah, 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, well, disregard my comment then. I could have sworn that was a Fast movie. I've never seen the Fast movies.
That's fair. To be fair, like, Channing Tatum strikes me as the type that would be in one of the Fast and Furious movies. Granted, most Hollywood actors are in those movies.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Couple of things that I had in my notes. The lady that's in the beauty shop early on in the movie, the old lady, I know many people that are exactly like that woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're probably related to me. But yeah, so that's really funny. Just kind of that little bit of sassiness, all of that sort of thing. It's kind of funny. One thing that I really thought was interesting was the reference to they keep talking about the thing with the water, the chemical leak and stuff like that. That was an actual thing that happened in 2013. So like it's the reason that my grandfather doesn't drink tap water anymore. Huh. Yeah. So like
reasonable.
Yeah, we had moved up here right before that whole thing went down, and it was bad, and I thought it was really interesting that they brought that into this movie to the point that it was like integral to the plot in getting Joe Bang or Daniel Craig's character out of prison. So it was interesting.
That's right. Yeah, because he drank the water to go to the infirmary.
Mm-hmm. My younger brother and I, after seeing this movie, we can't say cauliflower any other way.
Cauliflower.
That was great. Did anybody else catch the scene with the bear in the woods?
Yeah, I have that written down.
That was
bear in the woods.
So
it's just a guy. Yeah,
it's a guy and a bear. Okay, it's like this montage scene, and Daniel Craig is talking to his brother, who's like Jack Quaid or whatever, right? And he's like, I need you to go to the bear in the woods and get my stuff. And it shows these two brothers walking into this, just like in the middle of the woods. And then this guy with a bear costume comes out of nowhere, hands him a bag, turns around, and disappears. Like he fades away. It's ridiculous.
Like, yeah, I made sure to note that one down too, because I was like, "Oh my god, that's so funny."
It's wild, man.
This super serious, like, I need my materials. You get it from here. And it's just a dude in a bear costume who just fades away like he's sort of spirit of the woods or something.
Yeah. All of the prison scenes were hysterical. I always find those really funny. With Dwight Yoakam as the warden, and then they are prison rioting and they're holding hostages and stuff like that, and their demands are they want the next 3 Game of Thrones books.
Yeah.
2 of which have not been released yet.
Yeah, and they reference that the show carried on without it. Yeah. And so, like, the one dude was like, "Oh well, I don't remember the dude's name, but he said that it went this way and this way." And I was just like, "Yeah, that's."
Yeah.
That was
what else
funny.
do I got here? I always find it really funny when they're in the bit where they're trying to get all the money out of the bank vault. And they're trying to use it's technically not a bomb, but it's like, an explosive or whatever.
The Joe Bang.
Yeah, the Joe Bang. And he's explaining the science of it. Mm-hmm. And then later on, when they're trying to clean up, you just watch Channing Tatum frantically try to get this chalk off of the wall.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
That whole Joe Bang scene is so funny. In my notes, literally all I put down was, let's see, where is it? The whole Joe Bang scene. Because it was so funny, just from start to finish.
Just him explaining the science of it all, and it's science that, from my understanding of chemistry, makes sense, and my understanding of chemistry is very limited. And just, Daniel Craig is just amazing in this movie. Just line delivery and everything, because he ends this whole big scientific monologue like a chemistry lecture with or as I like to call it, the Joe Bang. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's funny.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous.
And then when it kicks back out at him,
Oh my
and
gosh.
they're all super serious, and like it was Adam Driver that caught it,
Yeah.
and he's just like shaking and everything. They're like, all right, slowly back away, and you see him start to retreat a little bit, but then he's like, oh yeah, I know what the problem is.
Yeah.
I twisted the bag too much.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know if you guys caught this, but one thing that I thought was funny is you guys see the post credit ending tagline thing at the end of the movie.
No.
I think
So
did.
But it says, so it goes. I wrote it down. It said, "This is a work of fiction. No one was robbed during making this film except you."
Oh, that's funny.
So I thought that was a pretty good tagline at the end, and also the fact that
that
a heist is they call the heist, and I guess a reference to the director. They call it Ocean 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
It's a pretty a good little caveat there that a lot of references in this movie. I feel like, geez, there was a ton. There's a whole bunch of fan service going on, and then with the cat, and then the fact that you got Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, and Seth MacFarlane in the same movie is kind of peak. I won't lie.
Seth MacFarlane in this movie is ridiculous.
Yes,
like just this caricature of a energy drink mogul or whatever you want to call him, right? The scene with them in the bar always cracks me up.
Yeah, that scene's great.
Because it's always so funny to me how Jimmy's getting beat up, and Clyde, Adam Driver's character, just grabs a whiskey bottle from the thing, grabs a napkin, sticks it inside, and makes this Molotov cocktail, steps outside. Earl, can you give me a light? I'm like, that's just funny.
It's like this happens on a regular basis.
Right.
It's like every other day at this bar, he's got to throw a Molotov at someone's van.
It was the nonchalance of him throwing it, and it's even, I'll use the phrase funnier, the way that he throws it because he's one-armed. You know, it's just like
right.
It adds to the nonchalance. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Clyde, because I wrote down near the start of the movie, Adam Driver's southern accent is cracking me up.
Oh, dude.
It's like kills me.
It's so funny. Because I know people that talk like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. No, it's everybody in this movie kind of nailed their performance, I think.
Yeah. Because it was just like every time he talked. You know, that cadence was just
Mommy gets sick
so
after
good.
Daddy's execution.
I think also one thing is like, this is the first that one of the first movies I've seen that had NASCAR as kind of a background thing.
Yeah.
But I thought it's kind of interesting. Like, I haven't really seen a movie like that, and at least not in a while. But it kind of gets me like, I'm curious. I want to learn a bit more.
It's not like NASCAR centric like Talladega Nights or something like that, but it's
that's right. Talladega Nights I've seen, but
yeah, it's still a big part of it though, just because of they're trying to rob the speedway.
Oh man, the security guards at the speedway, it's just the worst. They walk up on this guy who clearly doesn't belong on like the third level of the underground, and instead of being like, hey, you can't be down here, you gotta go, you know, are you causing issues, they're just like, do you smell burning? No. All right,
smell them racing fumes.
You smell any smoke? No, I haven't heard any smoke. Okay, well, just, you know, let us know if you say anything. You smell it. And then he just walks off, like, bro.
Yeah.
Or with the cart. Oh, trash run. Oh, okay, well.
All right.
It's like the worst security guards ever.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the running thing through the movie, though. And that was something that I picked up because not gonna lie, this is like one of my favorite movies of all time, and I've seen this probably dozens of times at this point, right? I feel like that's kind of a running theme with it, though, is that the people that are in charge are letting this stuff happen.
Yeah.
For one reason or another. Like, specifically the security guards and the warden. You're letting this stuff happen, and in order to save face or not have to do your job or whatever, you're just kind of ignoring stuff, letting stuff happen. Like, they kind of no sell, for lack of a better term, the fact that there's a prison riot when the FBI comes around at the end of the movie. So, yeah.
Yeah, I made the connection with the warden, and it's like, initially this is going to sound like way out there because you're comparing a movie like Logan Lucky to this movie that I'm comparing it to, but the warden kind of gave me the same inkling that the warden did in Shawshank Redemption. I don't know if you guys have seen Shawshank.
I have not, but...
I've not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I know one movie that might be... So, in that case, I won't get too big into it because that is arguably my favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
So that movie's fantastic. But the warden reminds me of the Shawshank warden in the same way that they're trying to save face, and like, nothing bad like this ever happens at my prison.
Right.
So
we don't have fires at Monroe is the line that keeps popping up, but
right. Yeah. The only difference between this warden and the one in Shawshank is the one in Logan Lucky is not nearly as smart, or I guess I should say the Shawshank warden isn't nearly that dumb.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I kept thinking about that. I was like, huh. Interesting.
The other thing that I'll mention, because I always like this scene, I always find it very sweet and heartwarming, is when they get to the beauty pageant at the end, and she sings Country Roads, which is her dad's favorite song and all of this.
Yeah.
And I always find it cute because it's very... I mean, obviously there's the connection with her dad and favorite song, but also like the crowd starting to sing along with that. It would completely happen at any crowd that somebody's singing Country Roads in West Virginia. Yeah. It's always interesting.
That scene had me smiling a little bit.
Yeah.
There might have been a couple of like, the eyes were starting to get a little bit watery because I was like, oh, this is really sweet.
Yeah. It's just nice.
It's a nice moment.
Although, what are we having a child sing Rihanna's Umbrella for?
Yeah, that was
that was the initial pitch. And even the one kid called it out. I'm not sure if I can say the actual line here, but it's one of the funniest lines in the movie. Just because of delivery from the one kid.
Did you know that in the song Umbrella, she's not really talking about the rain, she's talking about her blank.
And then I like Channing Tatum's reaction. Who told you that?
Who told you that?
Everybody.
Yeah, I think that might have been my favorite line in the whole movie.
Yeah. It's always the kids with me.
It's the kids, man. They're so funny.
Just deliver something so matter of fact that it's so funny.
The kids being vulgar without them knowing they're being vulgar.
Right.
That's just the best.
Those one-liners are crazy.
Indeed. It's kind of all I had.
Yeah. In regards to rating, I put a solid comedy / heist movie as 7.5.
Nice.
So I enjoyed it.
I gave it 8/10. So pretty close. I think it was really good. Like some of that I would be willing to rewatch again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I normally give this one like an 8.5 to a 9. It's got its issues, but overall, it's a really fun movie. And for me, it's the extra tie to West Virginia and knowing some of that stuff. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good movie.
Good
movie.
choice
for a display shelf movie.
Indeed.
Club
Agree. I'm with you there.
I guess if that wraps up everything for Logan Lucky, we can go ahead and move over to my pick, which was Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. And this was directed by John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein, who haven't really directed anything big, but they do a lot of writing, and they both helped write Spider-Man: Homecoming, among other bigger named films. So it stars Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Justice Smith, Sophia Lillis. Don't know exactly how to pronounce this guy's name, so I'm gonna do my best. Reggae Jean Page and Hugh Grant. Basically the plot points, or the summary of this movie: a charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic. But things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. So this movie's just based around a D&D campaign, which is fantastic. And that's kind of the reason I picked it, because I am a pretty avid D&D player. I play most, I'm on a D&D schedule. We'll call it that. Those that play understand. So I've been on doing that for a couple years now and really been enjoying it. And I never saw this movie. I had every intention of seeing it and just never got around to it. So I figured, why not now? And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good depiction of how a D&D campaign goes. So
yeah,
it was a good representation.
Yeah.
So
I actually wrote in my notes, is this how Dungeons and Dragons work? Stuff just kind of happens and you try stuff and it either works or it doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was cool to watch this because of someone that was trying to get into it for a while. Trying to understand it more. I thought it's cool to have a movie that it's okay, I can kind of jumpstart my obsession, or not obsession, but jumpstart I should try a campaign sometime, get more involved in it. I thought it was cool to be a movie that kind of this felt like it really was interesting. I thought really nice to watch and learn a bit more.
Yeah, that's another reason why I picked this movie, because I know I've talked to you guys about different D&D campaigns over the past couple of years or so, and I figured, well, this is a good way to maybe get them involved a little bit, get them interested, which hopefully that somewhat worked. But
it was definitely an interesting movie.
Yeah, I actually think it makes me want there to be more D&D video games, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I want a video game go on these epic quests and stuff like that. I would like to see more of that video game one.
Yeah,
which I guess there are a lot of them, but I need more. I'm addicted to them.
Just reinstall Baldur's Gate, brother. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but
okay, so
that takes a lot of time.
So
but also what's good.
I got a question. Baldur's Gate is mentioned in this film as a location.
Yep.
Is that a thing in Dungeon? Are they related, or is it just a reference?
Yep. No, Baldur's Gate is a D&D location.
Okay.
So
then what does that have to do with the video game?
I haven't played the game, so I don't really know, but it does take place in Baldur's Gate, within the D&D universe.
Okay.
So, they're trying to reach Baldur's Gate the game.
I thought they were two different universes and they're just like poking fun at one another or something. But okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Baldur's Gate's a city, and at least some of the D&D campaigns, it gets a little fuzzy because there's different worlds and whatnot, but
continuities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the campaigns I'm playing, actually, we started off in Baldur's Gate, so
oh, there you go.
That was also a good little reference for me. I was like, okay, so I understand roughly around
geographically where we're
what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the characters, Edgin, they all were like straight D&D classes, which was fantastic. Edgin being the bard, fantastic. Holga was a barbarian. Simon was a sorcerer, and Doric was a druid. And they all kind of played to their class really well, especially Edgin. You know, that he was a perfect representation of a bard. The first note that I had was from the trial when he's trying to stall for the bird guy, I can't remember his name, to get there, and he's just like, oh, here's my tragic backstory about my wife and my kids and blah blah blah, and he's like, that's classic bard behavior, to just use your words to try to
done from exposition.
Exactly.
Chris Pine's character reminded me of the guy from Tangled.
Yeah.
Just in that it's like, okay, he's a bit of an idiot, but he's a good guy and he's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Exactly right. That's
the character, not Chris.
Comparison.
Right. But yeah, that scene too, because I have another note about it. When they broke out of the window and the dude's like, no, your request was approved. It's like, that's classic D&D behavior, is that you go over the top even if you did accomplish it. It's like, oh yeah, we got this master plan, and then it's just like, oh yeah, no, you guys are good, but you still break out anyways or do something crazy. I was like,
so that kind of bothered me, even though they broke out. There was it like a pardon or something like that was approved. So like, do they really care?
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine they probably did. They put their hands on, one of the prison people and destroyed a
window.
I
mean, I didn't just want a restitution from a window.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how D&D law works, so
Yeah, that's a hard one to really say, because that's usually Dungeon Master's call, unless it's written into the story. But
yep.
Yeah, I know you said you had a lot of questions when we were talking about it the other day.
That was pretty much it.
And I'm not
the ones that I already asked. Okay. Yeah. Other than, I did have this written down. I wrote down, who is this movie for, like, targeted at? Is it targeted toward kids, but we've had a lot of language? But
I'd say it's probably targeted towards like teens, and a lot of D&D players is probably the big target audience, because there's a lot of references and stuff to how D&D works. And I did have an issue, and it's not just something that I've had an issue with, it's something that a lot of people did. So it, in regards to like official D&D rules and whatnot. So you have the scene where Doric, Sophia Lillis's character, the druid, is like saving the shapeshifter, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. She's like saving this person from execution and whatnot, and she wild shapes into I don't remember what she wild shapes into
like a
first.
Horse, wasn't it?
I think it might have, it was the horse that the guy was riding on. So she started there, which is fine, but then she wild shapes into an owl bear.
Right.
So in the laws of D&D, creatures have what's called a challenge rating, and it can be, challenge rating 0.25 or 0.5, 1,
Right.
3:18, whatever. And the ruling on how wild shape works is that you're only able to wild shape into, and it's this once you hit level 8, and that's the maximum that you can wild shape to, is CR1, so challenge rating 1. That's the maximum that wild shape lets you do. Owlbear starts off at CR3, so she straight up just shouldn't have been able to do that. So I had a little bit of an issue with that. But
like
again,
on a nitpicky
you know,
level, though.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was also like, yeah, she shouldn't be able to do that. But something interesting that I learned while I was researching Wild Shape, because I usually play not druid characters and whatnot, is that Wizards of the Coast, who are like the D&D creators and whatnot, they made character sheets for each of these characters, and as a like unique trait for Doric's character, they were like, oh yeah, she can wild shape into an owlbear as like a
like
unique
exclusively.
trait. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Because the movie wanted a cool CGI monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine.
It's fine, yeah. It's not.
Yeah. And I mean, the owlbear looked good. The visual effects are actually pretty solid here. The owlbear was cool. The color change on the evil chick's robes, that was a cool effect. Because it wasn't like a poof, it's red now. It was like a fade type of thing.
Right.
It was cool.
Yeah, fade into the red wizard robe.
Yeah. What else do I got here? The villains in this movie were kind of like one-dimensional, though.
They were, yeah.
But I feel like the focus wasn't on the villains as much.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But so the final fight scene with I think her name's Sophina.
Okay.
That was a really cool thing with me, because if you were watching closely, each one of the characters kind of took their own turn attacking her, and it kind of rotated.
Yeah.
And cool. it was all roughly 6 seconds in between their actions, because a turn in D&D lasts 6 seconds.
Oh.
So it's like a cool little yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it was a cool little thing.
Indeed. Oh,
that was like the one thing I knew about this movie, was that little piece of trivia. So I was watching for it in every single fight.
That is kind of cool. The graveyard question bit was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
You got 5 questions and that's it. Or was it 3?
It was 5.
Yeah, 5 questions.
That was kind of funny how they kept having to go to different guys.
Right. It's like, oh yeah, I died immediately as soon as the battle started. Dang it. Well, we still have to ask him 4 more questions.
And they just left the one guy there.
Yeah, that was great. Did you catch the post-credit scene?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's so good. So it cuts back to that guy that they left there. Because, they're like, oh, well, we can't just leave him sitting there. We have to ask him another question. Okay, so what's your favorite book? And that should be our last question. Well, blah, blah, blah. And they walk away while he's still talking. So the post-credit scene cuts back to him, just still sitting up, and he's like, that was only 4. So that was really funny to me.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper makes a cameo as a hobbit. The hobbit ex-husband of Michelle Rodriguez's character.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That was great. I really enjoyed that whole scene, and his character is like this super tiny dude and his big women.
Yep. Indeed.
That was one of the things I wrote down too.
Big women or Bradley Cooper?
Just the big San Antonio women being tiny and being with big women is a great bit, is exactly what I wrote down.
Yeah.
Big old San Antonio women.
Oh my gosh.
Big old women down to San Antonio.
I didn't know Charles Barkley was in the movie. Eating too many churros.
Oh my gosh.
I have led us astray. I apologize.
No, that was phenomenal.
That was great.
For the next movie day, or for the next movie club, I might put in The Princess Bride because I just love that movie.
Oh, such a good movie.
Oh, inconceivable.
The line of connection there is the line. What is it? Sleep well and dream of large women when he knocks out Andre the Giant. That's funny.
That's funny. Jacob, do you have any other thoughts regarding this movie?
I will say that I gave it an 8 out of 10 for this movie. And I also think that I would be willing to. I want to analyze it a bit more too, and try to get some more out of it. But also, I am ready to start a D&D campaign anytime. Honestly,
Okay.
after watching this, so
That can be arranged.
Yes, I would like to do that, and I also want to play Baldur's Gate now. No. So, I guess what this movie did to me was make me want to play games.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I like it a lot.
I have 7 out of 10, a fun time at the cinema.
Okay.
I think that the villains was really what kind of took me out of it. I felt like neither one of the villains... First of all, having 2 villains instead of 1 kind of took screen time from the other villain that I could have cared about and kind of split my level of I am concerned about this villain over 2 people. And it didn't work for me. So, but
okay.
Fun time. So 7 out of 10.
I had fun representation of D&D, 8.5.
There you go.
Okay.
So I very much enjoyed it.
The thing that I'm picking up about this particular round of movie club is that we all picked movies that we have some kind of like sentimentality toward.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the franchise or whether it's the movie itself. So yeah, kind of cool.
I think I already have my next couple movies thought out for our next couple movie clubs.
Well, you can't pick Princess Bride. I already said I was taking that one.
I mean, that's a fantastic movie, so...
Oh, it is.
It's a great choice. I would consider it as well, but...
Yeah.
It is not in my picks.
Yeah, Princess Bride is another one of those that's probably in like my top 5 movies. Probably top 3, honestly.
It's worthy of it, too.
Do what?
Worthy of it, too.
Indeed. Maybe we should talk about those one day.
I just can't think of a platform where we would do that.
Nah, I don't know.
Or segment or anything.
I don't know. But now, speaking of playing games, we've got one to play.
You've got a title to defend.
Yes.
I do. I forgot to get the belt from the basement.
All right, so I lost the last episode, so I had to come up with the game this time around. And the game I came up with is pretty lighthearted, nothing too crazy, just kind of a fun one that kind of don't have to be too deep into. And some people may think it's probably really easy, some may stump you, but I thought this would be a fun idea for the movie centric episode in a way to do. Can you name the movie / TV show quote? It will be our game. and I will present a movie quote or a TV show quote, and the first person to answer the movie name correctly will be awarded with the point for that round. And the way it's going to happen is we'll go back and forth. So since Garrett's the DisplayShelf champion, he can choose if he wants to start first for the next one, or if he wants to start first for the second question. So the way it would work is I would show you the quote, and then whoever goes first would guess. If they get it wrong, go back and forth until you both are unable to answer the question or feel that you want to just pass it out and do no points. It's not like the last quiz I did where it's more information will be revealed. It's just the one quote, and you got to figure it out as best you can by going back and forth and that kind of thing.
But we go back and forth until somebody gets the right answer, or we both agree to pass.
Or we both, yes, correct.
Cool.
Yes. So, and the higher point total wins. I made an uneven amount of points so that way we don't have a tie, so we don't know about tiebreakers.
Nice.
So, the first one, actually, wait, I want to make sure. So, Garrett, do you prefer to start the next one first, or would you like to start first on the second question?
I will start first.
Okay. All right. I will, and you can still see my screen on on Discord. Okay, cool. All right. The movie quote is, which you may know,
Please state the quote for the listeners.
Yes. I can't say that laughing. Sorry. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
That would be.
Now, what is that from? Yes. Now, the funny thing is, when you mentioned that earlier about the Princess Bride, I'm like, oh shoot. Like, oh yeah, you might know this one.
Wait, no, we like this movie.
Yeah. So that one was kind of a layup. I got to be honest. I figured you guys would get that one. Whoever got it first. All right. So Isaac will go first on the next one.
All right.
Princess
The next
Bride.
one is say hello to my little friend.
See, I'm very upset because I know this, but I can't remember it.
Take all the time you need. I will give you time.
I've got two floating around in my head right now. Is that Rambo?
It is not
No, it's
Rambo,
something else.
unfortunately.
It's
Garrett.
Scarface, isn't it?
It is.
That was the other one that was floating around in my head, yeah.
Yes, that one was tough because actually, if I think I was presented with this without looking them up, I think I'd be like, which one is it? I think Scarface would have been in my head too, but I think I would have said like what you did, Isaac. So that one's tough.
Yeah, I know that one has another famous quote that's very similar to that.
Yeah.
Dang.
The next one, Garrett's will go first on this one. Hasta la vista, baby.
Terminator.
Can you be more specific?
I've not seen any of these movies. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, I think is the name of the sub. Okay.
Yes, exactly right.
Yep.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day. All right. That's 3-0 right now.
That's tough.
Let's take that belt off, Garrett. It's time.
That's tough.
All right, next quote. You serious, Clark?
Is that
This is
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
It is Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That is
I was going to say
National Lampoons.
Yeah, I give you the point for that.
It works. It works.
Yeah. The reason I think like Terminator, because I would have said like if it said Terminator 1, I would have been like, but
Yeah, because that one is pretty specific.
yeah. But yeah. All right, 3-1. All right, next one. I am serious. Don't call me Shirley.
Is that Airplane?
That is Airplane. That's correct. Yes.
Never would have gotten that.
That one.
I've never seen that movie, but that's another one of those that just keeps popping up in the reels.
It's a great movie. Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Did you guys see the not to completely derail the game, did you see the trailer for Liam Neeson's Naked Gun?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I'm gonna have to go and see that one.
Me too. Me too. All right, next one for Isaac. Can I offer you an egg in these trying times?
Oh man,
Oh,
for you an egg, and he's trying to.
I can picture the meme.
I don't. I have no idea, so I'm just gonna go context clues hop.
That is a
Say it
good
again?
guess.
Sorry, it got out there for me. What'd you say?
Hop. HOP. Hop.
Oh, hop. It is not hop, but
It's
I
an
do like
Eastern
the
movie.
deduction you had there. I like the deduction you had there.
Yeah.
All right,
Because
Garrett,
it's
what do
Danny
you
DeVito,
think?
isn't it?
Maybe.
Is it Always Sunny?
Oh man,
It is always
I
sunny in
forgot we
Philadelphia.
were doing TV shows too. Man,
Yeah, I wish I would have put that. Maybe I should have made that corner clear. I apologize for that. I think I forgot to put it on the second slide, but
no, you mentioned it though.
no.
It
But I
just
should. I'll be
completely
more
blanked
clear
my
next
mind.
time around. All right. Next quote. So this is Garrett's first. It's the first one.
Okay.
I declare bankruptcy.
That's Office US.
Yes, it is The
I
Office.
don't know if I needed to specify US, but
I think it would have worked. Office US would have been good.
yeah.
Michael, you can't just shout, I declare
Right.
bankruptcy.
You know,
Right.
this
And
is
then
this is an
next for
underrated.
Isaac,
This is an
it's
unpopular
a
opinion.
Festivus miracle.
What's your
Go, sorry, go
unpopular opinion?
I'm not a big fan of The Office. Like, as opposed to like Parks and Rec.
I understand. I don't think the same way, but I understand.
Oh,
I
okay.
understand. I like both.
Yep.
Both is good.
Indeed.
Both.
Whose is this?
It's
This is
me.
Isaac.
Oh yeah.
It's a Festivus miracle.
It's Seinfeld.
It is Seinfeld.
That
Shout out
is the
Festivus.
greatest sitcom of all time.
Seinfeld. And I hate to say this, but we are retaining the championship this time around.
We
That is the
Dang.
end. That is
I
the
I
end.
am going to be the longest reigning display shelf champion. Period.
Until Jacob beats you next week.
I am going to beat you next week.
Or next
Maybe.
episode. Maybe.
Because what's the stats? Remind me of the statistics here. So I will have
I've had
held
it
it
for 1
for
week.
2 consecutive episodes.
Yes, I've had it for 1 episode.
Yes,
And then
I had
one,
one
right?
successful defense.
Okay, so I have to have
So
another successful defense
yes.
in order to be the longest reigning.
Yes, so I have one.
Alright.
I have not defend. I have not. My defense I lost, so I have 1 reign, and you guys both have 2 then reigns. of
I mean,
the
I still
belt.
only have. We all have one reign, but
But you defended.
defended, yeah. So
I have not defended, so I count it as a kind of 1 reign. But I guess yeah. I guess I'm making no sense, but I'm tired.
It is 11 o'clock at night
it
All
is.
right,
on a Monday.
I wish I would have thought. I feel like it's hard to do quotes sometimes, just because someone can be so similar. So
Yeah.
I will think of something better next time. So I
No, you're
apologize.
that
good.
was a
That was
good
a
one.
fun game.
I wasn't quite sure what you were going to be able to pull with the movie stuff, so this worked perfectly.
Yeah.
But I will. I'm gonna have one in my back pocket for next time, because I know there will be a next time. I'm sure that I will be losing the belt someday, or when I get the belt back, I will be losing it someday.
Well, don't say that. Don't sell yourself short here.
Well, no, it's just the natural. It's natural.
It's a fact of life. I know I'm going to lose it one day.
Yes.
It's the natural progression of the Display Shelf Championship.
That's how the belt works. The belt must
No
change
Roman
hands.
Reigns about here.
Not yet.
Not
Maybe.
yet.
With that being said, that concludes the game with episode 5, the DisplayShelf podcast. Garrett retains. This time around, and I will be coming for that next week, or not next week, whenever the next episode is.
Indeed.
Indeed.
We don't know what we're doing for the next episode, so we will
Figure that out.
We will figure that out. We'll do something fun. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful.
Make sure you're following our socials. Twitter is at DisplayShelfPod. Instagram at DisplayShelfPodcast. Like I mentioned earlier when we started the movie club segment, we will be posting stuff there in regards to our next movie club movies or any other updates regarding podcast activity.
Indeed. And I'm probably going to make Isaac post the Luke Skywalker custom that I showed off earlier. That way we can, show that off a little bit.
Indeed. There will be a post coming with some images of some of the toys we talked about today, so keep an eye out for that.
Good idea.
Indeed.
And then and then in the future we will also post the movies that will be in the next movie night. I'm not sure when that'll be, but there will be more. We'll have more movie discussions.
Indeed.
I think those were very thought-provoking and a good way to kind of fill in an episode where things are not really happening at the moment. So
definitely. Well, what an excellent episode. And with that,
absolutely fun time.
We will see you soon.
Peace.
Bye-bye.